Okay, we're live now.
Okay.
Hello.
And I'm here on time for once.
Yay!
Yes, barely.
Is that
Only because Matt didn't work today.
because I messaged you, or?
Well, no, Matt didn't work today, so I didn't have to pick him up.
No, okay.
But yeah, I didn't know we were just hopping into call because no one said anything beforehand.
I mean, I just got here too, so.
I mean, we got here like maybe 4 minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the reminder, PJ.
Alrighty. So, is everyone on the connected to the campaign?
I'm getting to the server.
Why is your microphone making that noise?
Mine?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hang on.
It sounded like you were gargling with gravel.
Is that any better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just swapped my mic over from
Oh,
the.
no.
It came back.
Okay.
This is gonna be a problem if that keeps happening.
Well, this is odd. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Alright. I had a momentary flash of panic because I'm like, Steam says I'm offline. It just suddenly disconnected, but I guess Steam is doing Steam things.
Okay. Am I still clicking now?
No.
Well, not right away, but we'll see if it happens.
Okay. Let
Sing
me know
us
if it
a
does.
song, Richard.
I was trying to use my headphones without the wire connection. I don't know why that would have made the mic click, but I changed it back, so I don't know.
Alright. I'm all set. I think. Yeah.
Alrighty, so while everybody's getting together, does someone want to do a quick recap of last time around? Anybody feel like it?
Don't everybody talk at once.
We did some things. It was cool. We made some progress. We're asleep.
Well, here's what happened. We went across the river and through the woods and to grandmother's house.
I'm about to finish the joke the same way. Yeah.
And then we crossed another river and Ada carried a bunch of people over. I remember that distinctly. We got to this temple and we put our scary rock in a statue and it told us to go to sleep. But before we could do that, a bunch of zombie dwarves attacked us. We killed them, and now we're going to sleep. No, we woke up in this weird world, and
It was like
There
a
was a
dark
voice.
forest, right?
yeah. And that's our recap.
That sounds pretty much like where we are. So you guys are currently in the nightmare plane, which is the source of all of these problems and disturbances that have been going on. Putting the stone in the statue doesn't seem to have caused any kind of major change. In fact, if anything, it seems to have activated something, given that the dwarf zombies got up and started kicking again once you put it back in there. But maybe you go in here, you might be able to find what's causing the problem and beat it up with your weapons until it stops causing problems, because that's what adventurers do. All right, so again, you find yourself, after you drink from the fountain in the temple, because drinking from temples full of zombies is never a bad idea and never ends poorly for anybody. You find yourselves in a winter forest. Things are still, things are quiet. It seems to be late evening, early twilight by the dim light in the sky. There are trees surrounding you. They seem very, very ancient. And the silence is almost oppressive. Looking around the little clearing in which you find yourselves, you see a pool of water. It's a stone fountain, just a circular pool, seems to have still clear water. If you go over and you look in, you see the temple that you all just came from, as if you are looking almost from the perspective maybe of the statue, maybe of the inscription of the eye on the wall, and you can see yourselves sleeping on the floor, just kind of hanging out there. Looking around, off in the distance, one direction looks much like another. The forest extends out all around you. However, in one direction, you can't tell which direction it is, as you don't really have any stars you can see or any other kind of landmarks to orient yourselves toward north. But in one direction, you see a column of gray smoke rising, as if something coming from a chimney or a campfire.
Everybody here? Everybody okay, guys?
I'm here.
Domitia, Lise, and Alexander. Alright, we're all in one place. Nobody got left behind in the temple?
Lisa's just
Yeah.
staring around, confused.
After making sure everybody is there and at least somewhat coherent, Ada's gonna suggest, well, going towards the smoke seems like the most obvious route, so shall I take the lead?
Go for it. I'm still trying to get map tool open. Takes it forever to launch.
Alright, so you all begin tramping along, following Ada's lead in the direction of the pillar of smoke that you all see in the distance. As you go into the forest proper, it becomes a little more difficult to keep an eye on it. You lose it through the tree canopy, but every now and then there's enough of a gap that you can spot the column still rising. It's hard to tell exactly how long you travel. There's very little sound other than the snow crunching under your own feet. The sky does not appear to become either any darker or any brighter to indicate that time is passing. You don't see signs of any wildlife at first. No footprints, no tracks, no sounds of creatures moving through the brush around you. You do begin to see birds, dark black birds or crows sitting up in the tree branches, and they stare at you as you go past. They do not flap, they do not caw, they simply watch you as you go by.
Can I get a nature check on those?
You may.
That's an 11.
Well, some sort of blackbird, definitely, probably a crow, if you had to guess. But whatever they are, they're not acting normal, like at all. It's not usual for birds just to watch you, like to lock eyes with you as you're going by, like in any fashion.
Throw
Can
a
I
rock
detect
at them.
evil?
Yeah, Ada can detect evil. They do not register as evil. Demetia picks up a rock, chucks it in the general direction of one of the birds. It takes to the air, flaps around a little bit, lands on another branch, and resumes staring at the rest of you. Doesn't seem particularly phased. I assume y'all continue moving forward.
Slightly creeped out, yes.
No, I wasn't really saying that I threw a rock at them. I was just suggesting to.
Oh, okay. Well, if somebody throws a rock at them, that's what happens. Sorry, I think either two people were talking or you dropped out for just a second of it. I thought you said that you did that. So, as you all continue forward, the crows or whatever they are, they seem to continue watching you, but doing nothing else. They do not make any attempt to hinder you or attack you in any way. And eventually, you find the source of the column of smoke. There is, oddly enough, in the middle of this seemingly deserted forest, a fairly large 2-story mansion up ahead. It is surrounded by a stone and metal fence with a gate that is shut. You can't tell if it's locked from this distance. And there is a thin stream of smoke trailing up from one of the chimneys.
Huh. That was in character. That's all Ada says.
1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Let me shift maps real quick.
Domisha wants to see if she can shoot green fire from her hands here again.
That would be cool.
Demisha just kind of like holds out her hand, like concentrates on like, I want to shoot fire, and nothing seems to happen. You can't tell any real difference with, you can't. It didn't seem like you were about to like launch fire out of your hands or anything. It's hard to say.
After pointing at something for so long with her hands, she quickly throws a lit match at a nearby bush and says, look, I did it.
Ada goes to stomp out the fire.
Lisa's just going to stare at Domisha and just ask if she smashed her head while she went to sleep.
I mean, it's a dream, right? Can't we just, do anything here?
I don't think it's quite that.
You can roll knowledge planes if you wish.
Can I do religion? Because I don't have planes. Will religion give me anything?
I don't have planes either.
Religion
I also don't
might.
have planes.
I think our one person with knowledge planes was the summoner.
Alright, I'm going to make a religion check to see if I get anything. That is a 21.
Okay. So this doesn't seem like a dream specifically. If nothing else, you seem to be interacting with the rest of your party members. Chances are there are some degrees of mutable reality, perhaps, but this is not the same as being in like a lucid dream where you can just do whatever you want. Apparently, one key thing of lucid dreaming is realizing that you actually are in the dream. So maybe you could figure out some way to start trying to bend reality differently, but it's iffy at best.
Shall we see if this gate opens? Ada attempts to open the gate.
All right. You put your hand on it, you kind of push, and the gate kind of swings open with a slow, mournful creaking sound.
I go about that far in.
All right. Are the rest of you following?
Yep.
Well, doesn't this sound inviting?
You still see no movement or other sign of inhabitation other than the fact that there is a chimney that is, putting out a little bit of smoke right now.
Are the birds still around?
No. The birds appear to, if you turn around and you look back behind you in the forest, you might still see one or two, but they don't appear to be sitting around
We're no longer in the forest, right?
Right. The mansion is situated in either a natural or an artificial clearing, and the actual area within the fence appears to be fairly well manicured and kept up.
Can we see the sky?
You can't. It is still that kind of dim twilight, not quite full dark, not quite day.
So we can't see any celestial body. It's just a big color.
Yeah, you see no stars in the sky. You do not see the moon. It's a little bit unsettling, honestly. Like you would not have seen the night sky, like even at this level of twilight. You would expect to be able to see at least like a couple of stars out, some of the brighter ones.
I'm gonna go investigate this thing.
All right. Excuse me.
Real quick, just to make sure, Domitia is going to put Psychosomatic Surge on Lise.
Okay. Noted. All right. So you all move forward. This appears to be a fountain. It seems to have water in it. It's not running currently. In fact, it seems like it probably hasn't run for a little while at this point. Kind of in contrast to the fact that, the lawn seems fairly well trimmed. The hedges seem fairly well trimmed. The fountain appears to have been allowed to fall into disrepair. But as far as you can tell, it is a completely normal fountain.
Gonna go ahead and stick my hand in the water.
Detect magic.
The fountain, you do not notice a magical aura around the fountain, and Ada, the water is fairly chilly. Also, if I could have all of you roll a perception check for me, please.
That's not going to be good.
It's okay, my 23 will cover you.
Yeah, I got a 7.
I also got a 23.
I got 24.
No, wait, no. 22. 22.
I also have a question. Is there any indication of what kind of culture the building design is from?
It looks fairly similar to something that you might see in some of the older, more affluent areas of like the central part of the empire. If you had to guess, if you saw this in like a normal setting, this would have been built by humans more than likely, if you had to guess.
So humans and part of the empire. Okay.
All right. As you all are beginning to examine the fountain, let's see. Lise had a 23, and Ada, what, you had a 24, did you say,
Yes.
or no? 24,
Yes.
okay. The two of you specifically,
Alexander
Notice.
or Domitia also had a 22.
22. Yeah, actually, all three of you, everyone except Alexander, notices up on the eaves of the house, kind of on the roof near where the front door is, there is an odd creature. It appears to be, you can't see too many details, but a black winged shape perched on top of the house. As you watch, it kind of spreads its wings, flaps a little bit, and launches off the top of the house towards you. If everyone would, please roll initiative.
I hit the wrong button. Let me do the other initiative button. I forgot
Okay.
I made a macro for that. Let me delete that macro. Correct macro. There we go.
Hey, the die roller doesn't hate you yet.
Yet. I'm like, wait, why didn't that trigger? Because I hit the wrong button.
All right. Lise, you are up first. The creatures are up on the top of the house, so probably around about 20, 30 feet up above ground level here.
That, and I need to actually measure distance so I can see if I can actually shoot at them with my bow. Because it only has a 60-foot range.
Who's good at trig?
No, that would be they're 90 feet away plus 20 feet, so it'd be 110. That would be I'd have to take a negative.
Yeah, so you can shoot outside of your weapons listed range. For each range increment outside, it's a -2 attack and a -2 to damage.
Question. I'm just trying to think real quick about this.
I mean, if you give me
because
just a second, I could figure out the exact distance.
Well, it's about 110 feet, I believe. From
You
me.
can always hold your turn and wait till they get in range. Like ready in action.
That is true. So I'm going to pull out my short bow, and as soon as one of them flies within range, I'm going to take a shot at them.
Okay. Alright, and that's all? You're not going to move?
I mean,
all?
he did have to get out his bow, so...
I mean, you can draw a bow as part of it, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm just going to hold position.
Okay. Alright, Alexander. Kaze, you're up.
My mic was muted. Damn it. I'm assuming they've informed me those things are there since I didn't actually see them, right?
I think that's a fairly safe assumption. Someone would have said something.
You just saw Lise pull out his bow and point in the general direction of the house. So
Okay.
Also that.
So yeah, for now, I'm going to just move to here, and then I forget. Is there a standard action that's like total defense in Pathfinder?
Yes.
There is a total defense action. I believe it is a standard action and not a full round.
I'm look.
Yeah, we can double check that real quick. I believe, if I recall, it's a standard action and +4 dodge bonus to your AC until the start of your next turn.
Okay, yeah, if that is the case, I'm gonna do that. Because these things are way outside of my range. And also, those things are, what, 20 feet off the ground, right?
Roughly.
Yeah, using the Pythagorean theorem, they were only 97 feet from you, at least.
well, I don't do theories, so they still would have been out of my range by
Sorry.
like 7 feet.
It's not a theory, it's a theorem.
I don't do theorems either.
It's math!
I don't do math.
Oh, good point. You do math. Wait.
Excuse you?
No, that's all. That's it.
Yeah, total defense is standard and +4 dodge bonus to your AC.
Yeah,
Nice,
okay.
that is
So-
super.
Alexander's doing that?
Also, just so you know, you can't make attacks of opportunity while you're using total defense. So, just put that out there as well.
Okay. So, there are, though you all spotted this one here first, there are in fact 2 of them. And both, you notice them once they start moving towards you because they're not in stealth anymore. They launch off and dive toward the group as a whole.
Where is it
All right.
going?
The first one kind of flies overhead before kind of turning back. It is still that little red dot that I put on them. I'm using that to indicate that they are in the air. So he's still around about 20-30 feet above you. Lise, this would be within range of your short bow, I believe. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It's about 30 feet horizontally and about 20 feet vertically. So that should be within range,
I have
definitely.
60-foot range, yeah.
That should be within range.
So yeah, as it flies towards us, he's just gonna turn and take a shot.
All right.
18.
All right. Your arrow does manage to catch the creature and deal 5 damage, correct?
Yeah, I don't have a strength mod on that. So it's just the flat 5.
All right. So it doesn't make any sound when the arrow strikes. There's just a thunk, and it kind of like staggers back a little bit. in the air. The other one takes off and lands in the courtyard near where Ada and Lise are. Looking at it a little bit more closely now, you notice its face is just completely blank. It does not have eyes, it does not have a mouth, it does not have a nose, anything. And it kind of sizes up Ada, apparently. And it is now Ada's turn.
Okay. So, I'm going to detect evil, and this is something that I looked at just now. Paladins can use detect evil as a move action, and if they concentrate on a single item, I can learn the strength of its aura as if I studied it for 3 rounds.
Okay. This creature is in fact not evil, or at least it is not registering a strong evil aura.
Dang it. Well, I'm gonna... Let's see, who's squishier? Lise or Demisha? Demisha's squishier, but Alexander... I don't know where to put myself, you guys. I guess I'll just engage this one.
Okay. So
So,
you're
5 foot
standing-
step.
Yeah, you're standing in the edge of the fountain.
I was standing beside the fountain.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
right here.
Yeah.
And since I used my move action, I can only 5 foot step.
Right.
But that's close enough. And I'm just gonna hit it with my battle axe.
Okay.
Hopefully. Whew.
Yes, you do. Not quite enough for a crit threat, unfortunately, but Ada winds up and manages to get a solid hit off on the creature.
Does it make any noise? Or does it react at all?
It kind of twists back from the hit, but makes no sound whatsoever. Alright, and Demisha, you're up.
Okay, a couple questions.
Okay.
How tall is the fountain? Is it blocking my view from the one attacking Ada?
The central part, like the very middle, is probably around about 6 feet. This part is only, 6 to 8 inches off the ground. This one's no more than a foot or two. So you should be able to see across like this part of the fountain toward either Ada or the creature.
Okay, the one that Ada has engaged is 40 feet away, perfectly within my crossbow's range, and I'm measuring it. It doesn't look like either of my allies are in the way.
Okay.
So I'm going to target this one with a crossbow bolt.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, 11.
All right. The creature does manage to duck out of the way of the bolt.
I almost never hit with this thing. Okay, move action to reload, and that's it.
All right. Do you want to stare at one of them?
Sure, I'll stare at the one that I just fired at.
Okay. So they do not have eyes. They can't. Or at least no eyes that you can see.
Nope.
But your mesmerist stare. Go ahead.
I know that doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like, I could stare at a slime and it wouldn't matter.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, I'm trying to factor in if I can move around this. No, that's too long. Trying to figure if I can get around this thing without provoking
What's your
an AOO.
acrobatics? What's your acrobatics?
High, but last time I rolled that, I still got AO'd. It's 9, so...
I mean, you can always take that chance, but
I have a better idea, actually. Well, now I can't do it because I used it today. I was going to positioning attack. But... Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, since I have my short bow out, I'm just going to change target to the one that Ada's attacking. And since I have a clear line of sight, and take a shot at it.
Okay.
That's a 25. But unfortunately, that is not a critical threat.
Unfortunately, very close to one. But the arrow, that one manages to fly true, and it catches the creature kind of in its torso.
and I am going to 5-foot step to here. That way I can position myself easier to flank it next turn.
All right. All right, Alexander.
You're muted.
Yep, I was. Can you remind me what this thing is actually flying? Is this just like a little pool?
That is grass.
Okay. Okay, so I calculated this out in between turns.
Are you sure
Just
that's
make sure.
grass? Because it looks a lot
The DM
greener
says
than the
it's
rest of the grass,
so
and
it's grass.
Yeah,
those look
I
like
think-
lily pads.
I think the way it's drawn, it's supposed to be water, but for these purposes, it's grass.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I calculated this out. You said they're flying at 20 feet, right?
Mhm.
So being 10 feet away from it like I am, if I raise my arm to aim at it, that puts my gun 15 feet away from it, which puts it within my first range increment. So I don't have to get too close. So I'm going to try shooting it.
I'll allow it. That seems reasonable.
16.
All right, 16 versus touch AC. That does manage to hit.
Yay!
So
And it
Alexander
does
steps forward, puts a pistol round right into the thing.
Yep. And then, that will be it then, actually.
You can reload because you only did a 5-foot step.
You can.
Yeah, that is. I forgot 5-foot step. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna reload.
All right.
I always forget about it. Just a 5-foot step.
Yeah,
Always forget.
it is. It is a free action. It's very useful for like if you just need to reposition slightly, for not like burning actions and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, reload, and that'll be it.
All right. The flying creature, the one that Alexander just shot, kind of flaps itself a little bit, and it is going to dive down and attempt to claw at him. So it lands heavily directly in front of Alexander and goes after him with his claws. And Alexander has a surprisingly high AC and is able to just barely manage to avoid the creature's attacks. Which is fortunate because, as I have noted on the macro, if it does attack successfully, it gets a free grapple attempt against you.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That would be unfortunate, yes. They got him going after the two highest AC people in the party. The other one is going to attempt to do the same thing against Ada.
Oh no.
Alright. So Ada takes 4 points of damage as one of its claws rakes across her, and it is going to attempt to grab onto her. So that is a 28 grapple check.
That's also a crit threat on that roll there.
You know what? Yes, it is.
You're welcome. And yeah, that grapples me.
That
And that
also crits you.
confirms.
All
So total of 8 damage?
Total of 8 damage, and Ada is grappled.
Okay. And also, just because I thought about it 2 seconds too late, Lisa's attack should have done 1 more point of damage against the Night Gaunt because of the stare.
You're correct, it should have. Alright, I've amended that now. And then the Night Gaunt, after it reaches down and basically buries a claw into Ada, into the side of Ada's torso, it flaps its wings and takes off into the air
With me?
with you.
Okay.
That last d20 roll was a fly check to see if he could manage to haul you into the air, and then it was successful.
Good.
How
high
high?
up am I?
Not too far, only about 15-20 feet up. It appears to be kind of struggling up against the weight.
This puts us at a disadvantage trying to shoot it now, though. For those of us without precise shot.
Okay,
And
so
it is now Ada's turn.
what are the rules for attacking while grappled? Is it a -2 or -4?
I believe it's a -4, if I recall correctly.
Okay. And I can either attempt an escape artist or a strength check to get out of the grapple. Yeah?
It's either an escape artist check or a combat maneuver check.
Right.
Either one opposed by their CMD.
Well, I'm just checking, but I'm probably going to go with my combat maneuver bonus because that's a positive number.
Okay.
This is going to hurt. But I'm going to do it. Alright, I'm going to try to break the grapple. It's a +5. Alright, so... 14.
That does not succeed in breaking.
Was that my full round?
That's a standard action.
I would like to attempt to bite it for pride damage.
You may attempt to bite at the creature's arm, however, it has no discernible effect, and it seems fairly proud of itself for having picked you up and started to carry you off. So,
I weigh like a lot.
yeah, it's having a hard time.
With my armor, I weigh like 200 pounds.
It's having a hard time.
How can we tell if it's proud if it doesn't have a face?
It just looks smug.
Yeah.
You know?
There's an aura of smugness radiating off of it.
Body language.
All right. So, is Ada gonna do anything else?
I don't think I can. Other than
Alright.
like detect more evil, but whatever.
All right, Demisha, your turn.
Okay, I'm already reloaded.
Yes.
I'm gonna move over to here, and I'm gonna shoot up at the night gaunt that's grappling Ada.
Okay.
Let's see. I need to check something.
Do
Okay.
you have precise shot?
I think Alexander's the only one that has that.
Excellent.
Although I think because of the way Demisha is angled,
Well, I'm being actively grappled, so
Yeah.
it's more like this.
Yeah, technically speaking, if you don't have precise shot, any shot into melee has a chance of hitting an ally, unless you take a -4 penalty to ensure that you are careful about your shot. Because it's assumed that the combatants are kind of moving back and forth, like they're not just stationary within their square.
and unfortunately I can't fight it in the air because levitate is a standard action.
I mean, you could get there eventually.
Yeah, but the thing is I have to walk over to it and then levitate myself into its reach. That is not something I want to do.
Would Charm Person work on these things?
So Charm Person is restricted to creatures of the humanoid creature type. You don't necessarily know you don't know what type of creature this is without making a knowledge check. However, it's probably a pretty safe bet these are not humanoids.
Well, I've always rolled low on my attacks. So, if I took a penalty to not hit Ada, I'd probably miss anyway.
I won't hold it against you if you hit me. It's okay.
This could be the day for your nat 20. You never know.
Alright, I'll try it. I just checked and Dazed only works on humanoids too. 18.
That hits. Roll. have it. I was about to tell you to roll damage, but you have damage rolled already. All right. The crossbow bolt strikes the creature that's grappling Ada, kind of under its arm. And let's see. Hang on just a second. And it drops Ada from where it is right now. So, Ada, you can attempt an acrobatics check, I believe, to negate some degree of falling damage, or you can just drop.
Question.
Yes.
Featherfall is an immediate action.
Yes, it is.
Can I use that on her as she starts falling?
Let me check and see what the range of the spell is, but if they're
25 feet plus 5 feet per 2 levels.
then yes, you may.
Okay, as soon as she starts dropping Featherfall so that she lands gently and doesn't take any damage.
Yay! I was about to say, it's like, well, my acrobatics is a -1.
And then you remember that you have a drow.
Yay!
Alright, so Ada drifts calmly down to the ground. And it is now Lisa's turn.
Surprised.
Lise just calls out to her, I can only do that once.
I won't get picked up again.
Alright, and it's still in the air, so he's gonna take a shot at it because...
Hey, do me a favor. If you hit,
Eh?
don't add my hypnotic stare damage.
Okay.
Oh wait, hang on. You would have done an extra d6 of damage because you were using your hypnotic stare. So
It's
if you
only
want to,
it's only once per round.
okay.
And since you retroactively added the damage to Lisa's former attack, I didn't get to use it.
We could take that one off and let you do
yeah.
the 1d6. 'cause we
I didn't know it was once per round.
I didn't actually realize it was once per round either.
So yeah, do we want to just take that 1 point off and let Demisha roll her 1d6?
D8.
Yeah.
1d8.
Is it a d8?
Yeah, it's a... No, wait, no, it's a D6. Never mind.
Yeah. I'll allow you to do that if you want to.
That was the 16, so I don't think it hit.
Yeah, Lisa's shot misses, so. Alright,
So, do you want me
Please
to roll a
wanna do-
D6?
yeah, if you wanna say that, we'll drop the extra point of damage from Lisa's attack last round and let you roll that one. Okay, so that's an extra 3 points of damage then.
And I 5 step over here, and then that's my turn.
Okay.
It'd be a
And
lot
Alexander.
better if I didn't go last.
Yeah.
Does a 5-foot step provoke opportunity attacks?
No.
It does not.
Okay, so I'm gonna 5-foot step and shoot at the one that is down there.
Okay. So this one here,
Yes.
Okay.
18
against touch, that hits.
and only 2 damage. But then I'll reload again. And that'll be it.
How come you fired at that one?
Mainly because it's still on the ground and just attacked me.
That and pistol has a very short range.
Yeah, my range increment is 20.
Oh, okay.
Alright. The one that Alexander just shot flaps into the air and starts flying off. The one that just dropped Ada begins taking off in this direction.
Oh, run away like a bitch.
Cowards!
They do not respond to your taunting, and unless you wish to pursue, they will flee at this point into the forest around the manor house, the mansion.
Nah, we probably won't see them again.
Yeah. Alright. After making sure they're properly, flying away, I'm gonna lay on hands myself. No!
Oh no.
I can do it again.
Domisha gives Ada her potion of healing. Or potion of cure light wounds.
Leash was just
Hooray.
pulling his out to hand it to her, but Domisha got there first.
Dang it!
I almost never take damage, really, which is odd since I
Alright.
have the lowest AC and HP.
Well, I've recovered 4 health at least, between my lay on hands and the potion.
I mean, you got half your health back that you lost.
That's true. That's true.
We don't want to use all of our potions in one go like that.
No.
No.
I can still do lay on hands 3 more times, so...
Okay, yeah, you're good then.
All right.
I'm gonna try to collect my arrow that had just like missed the mark.
Okay. Yeah. Roll a. Just any die. Even you get it, odd you don't.
Well, I normally do high or low, but okay.
Okay.
Odd I don't, so.
Okay.
So yeah, I lost 2 arrows. That's why I brought 60. I knew I'd lose most of them.
Alrighty.
Experience points?
I mean, we didn't technically kill them.
We won, though.
Yeah, you get XP for more than just killing enemies.
Yeah, you get XP for this. I don't think I'm necessarily going to bother. Basically, the way I'm going to handle it, if we do manage to finish up the combat, get through this section tonight, then that's basically going to be it for the combat for this campaign. If we don't get through it tonight, we're going to level up wherever we end off and then come back in next time around to finish it.
You mean there's not going to be a boss fight?
There is. You guys are making your way toward them.
Are we going to do the boss fight tonight?
Depends on how far we get.
Alright. It goes this far before waiting for everybody else.
Alright. So, as you begin approaching the house, you still don't really see any sign of anything untoward going on. The
I want to do that. How do I do that?
hold space, and it'll point at your cursor. Joining the party. You don't see anything untoward. There's no real sign of any activity from inside the building, and the chimney is still kind of merrily putting off smoke. Doesn't seem like anybody's really noticed.
Is it actually merry, or is it sinister?
I will leave that up to you. You may determine whether the smoke seems more happy or sinister.
Can we sense motive on the smoke?
This is not the first time I've been asked for someone to make a sense or motive roll on an inanimate object.
They
It
were
is not
on
trying
me,
to bluff.
by the way.
Yeah. It is not trying to bluff you, so I shall let you make up your own mind as to the smoke's demeanor.
Eyes in the sky with dark vision up, as well as low light vision, just like making sure nothing else is trying to sneak up on us.
Don't see anything else like lurking on the rooftop or in the air around you.
Alright, Ada's gonna try the door.
Alright.
But before she touches it, she's gonna look back and ask if Lise wants to check for traps.
Elise just walks up next to her and begins checking.
Okay.
This gets a plus, well, I've made a macro just for trap finding, 22.
Okay. Lise examines the door over, does not see anything that looks particularly trap-like. There's a handle on it, like there's a double door, there's a handle on each side, there's a big brass knocker with that looks like it's built out of like the beak of a raven on each door.
Charming. Who did they get their advice from when it came to designing this?
Edgar Allan Poe, apparently.
Alright, I'm going to knock using the knocker.
Okay. You knock on the door a time or two, and in typical creepy mansion fashion, the door creaks open slowly on its own with no one immediately behind it. You can now see into this room here.
That's
There is
a good
another-
sign.
There's another door here. It is closed.
I'm going to step into the doorway and begin checking around.
Okay. It appears kind kind of dusty. Like there really hasn't been very many people coming in and out for a very long time. The welcome mat is kind of worn and frayed. There's like a little, basically like coat rack wardrobe thing over here that's sitting there empty. You don't see anything else untoward around the area.
I'm primarily checking for like traps.
Yeah, I'll let you keep the 22 if you want. You don't see anything else in this room that looks trap-like.
Yeah, just because he keeps like 5 feet ahead of Ada, and as soon as it's clear, just guides her forward up to the door, which he's gonna start inspecting.
I assume this
Alright.
place is well lit, given all the candles.
Yes, there are candle sconces on the wall, and despite the fact that it seems fairly dusty, the candles are burning.
Detect magic is still up. Is it a magical flame on the candles?
No, it's not.
Someone's
Yeah.
been here recently.
How big are the candles? Are they like about to burn out, or are these new candles?
Yeah. Neither particularly. Doesn't look brand new, doesn't look like a little nub. They
So
vary,
they've been switched out within like the past couple days.
quite possibly. Of course, then again, you've also just been in Twilight for the last maybe 20 minutes, maybe a couple hours, so that you've been walking here.
That's true. But yeah, at least he's going to point out that the flames aren't magical, so someone does live here and is maintaining them. And he's going to check the door for not only traps, but he's going to like wiggle a little bit once he checks for traps to see if it's locked.
Okay. Go ahead and roll trap finding again.
29.
All right. You do not locate any traps on the door, and it does in fact appear to be unlocked.
He is at that point going to step back and motion for Ada.
All right.
Alright.
You step into the main room here, and to your surprise, there is a creature standing near the entryway.
I'm gonna go back
It
here
is
again.
it is a small, kind of pudgy humanoid-looking thing that is dressed in impeccable butler attire. It kind of bows to you. Ah, welcome. Please, right this way, and motions over in this direction.
I don't like it.
I'm going to roll a stealth check.
Demisha is going to happily follow the
Gotcha.
cute butler.
Okay.
I have a 30 stealth check, and I'm just going to creep up behind them, like using Ada as cover.
Okay. All right.
Can I roll stealth too?
Sure.
Yeah, it's probably not very high. 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
The creature kind of steps over. It goes through this door here, and holds it open and kind of steps back and, motions to let you all in. Lisa and Alexander, you can kind of remain unspotted, but unless you kind of stay using this wall as cover, it will see you when you come through the door.
Well, I've been walking in Ada's shadow, so when she goes through the door, I'll be like right up close on her.
Are we hugging?
Almost.
I mean, it's going to have a clear view. Like, it's basically going to be impossible for you to stay hidden just walking directly in front of it.
That's why he's using Ada as cover, trying to like walk around her, using her as a block between him and it.
Yeah, like the door frame's not like wide enough. You can't you're having to like stay behind her. It's not wide enough for both of you to go through side by side.
Yeah. He's skinny, but he's not that skinny.
Yeah.
It
So
is big.
are you guys going to stealth and wait out here or go on in?
He's just gonna
Alexander's
wait out here.
Okay.
Like he's just gonna hide in the shadow and just listen.
All right. As you enter, there is a table set rather finely. Has nice looking banquet laid out, ready to go. And there is a woman. She appears late teens, early 20s perhaps. kind of well-dressed, and she smiles and bows at you very slightly and is like, I'm so glad you could make it. Please, come, sit down. And Ada, you recognize this voice. You remember the nightmare that you had right at the beginning of the campaign?
Yes.
It's the same voice.
Detect evil.
Pings is evil, definitely.
How evil?
Like
hella or not?
Hold on just a second. Gotta check the guidelines for strengths of auras.
What's Alexander doing? Is he going to come sit with us?
Yeah, might as well.
It is a moderate strength evil aura.
Now I gotta look at the rules and find out what that means.
Anyone notice this completely useless
Found it.
pair of stairs over here?
So, it took me a few minutes to parse that stairwell as well. I believe one of them, I think it's this one, goes up to a landing here, and then there's an upper story map where the staircase continues this way and goes to a second floor. This staircase on this map actually goes down. It's hard to parse out. It took me a few minutes of looking at all of the maps to figure out how they actually fit together. One of them is up, one is down, though.
Huh. Okay. I didn't know there was a second floor map.
I would also like to do a religion check.
Alright, you may.
Ew. 9.
You don't really recognize exactly what this is. The butler looked alarmingly demon-like, though.
Alright, good.
So the creature or the woman, this one, kind of smiles as you all sit down, leans in a little bit closer, and so I see you have decided to come and see us. I hope this is a pleasant visit. I think that we have much that we can offer one another.
How many of there are you?
She kind of chuckles a little bit. Oh, there are several. We've awaken at different times. There are a few of us that woke up together. A few that woke up with myself, shall we say. Yeah, she doesn't give you a specific number. She seems a little bit evasive.
Do you have a name?
She kind of smiles a little bit, and not one that you would recognize per se.
I might surprise you.
She shakes her head. Names are such quaint little things. It's really a bother trying to keep track of them, don't you think? Everyone wanting to
come up with them.
Yeah, not to mention come up with them. This is this is actually she does not think of herself having a specific name for her as an entity. This is partially motivated by me, not being good at coming up with names on the fly, but not entirely. It's again, names are so cumbersome, having to assign a word to everything that you see. I would rather talk about what you can do for us and what we could do for you.
Ada just sits there with a frown on her face.
She kind of waits for a response, sees that none is immediately forthcoming, moves up, sits down, leans in over the table, kind of glancing at you all, and let's see. Excuse me. I can offer you nigh unlimited power. I can offer you a way into the minds of other mortals. I can offer you an escape from your own deaths marching towards you ever more quickly. You, and she motions to all of you at the table. You and we could do incredible things. We could make worlds tremble at our feet. If you just let us in, let us, if you allow us, if you help us into your world, we can help you draw power from ours.
No.
That's Ada's in-character response, just no.
Yes, just no.
Does anyone else say anything about this?
Alexander just says, not interested.
How loud are they speaking? Can Lise hear them outside?
She's not like... She's talking conversationally, but Lise has a stupid perception modifier, so probably Lise can hear her.
Well, I was pointing more like towards Ada's no, but I'm going to go ahead and roll perception for trying to hear like the conversational tone, which is a 13. So I don't hear the conversational tone.
I mean, it's probably enough. You're not that far away.
Yeah. But I'll probably hear Ada's just defiant no.
Demisha is super conflicted.
Super what? You cut out there for a second.
Conflicted.
Well, as Demisha is considering what her response to this should be, you notice the woman's face kind of like become angry all of a sudden. And this time, very much less conversationally directed at Alexander and Ada, kind of snapping. It's like, so why are you here then, if not to bargain? Are you here to try to kill us? Are you here to try and destroy us? And you notice like her fancy dress is becoming like tattered and torn and old. Her well-brushed hair is kind of becoming unkempt. Her eyes are becoming manic with this terrible glow in them. You know, notice the food begin to rot and decay in front of you. She takes a hand and just sweeps a set of plates off of the table, stands up, pushing the chair back roughly, and then in this angry hiss, very well, if you've come for a fight, then a fight you will have. And everybody roll initiative.
No, wait.
Wait.
Before we roll initiative, Ada's gonna look dead in her eyes and say, no one said anything about a fight. We want answers first.
Well, she's not particularly interested in giving more answers if you are not interested in the
Darn.
arrangement here. So,
No checks I can make? How about intimidate? Can I intimidate her into sitting down?
you can try.
Here we go, guys. 19.
Remembering to do math. She does not seem particularly fazed by Ada. Like, it's close, but not
Someone
quite.
assist me.
Could I help? Because I do have a +4 bonus to intimidate.
Sure.
No.
Ah.
Oh well.
Oh well.
I don't think Demisha's gonna help, and Lise isn't in here, so okay.
The only way Lise could be intimidating is shooting an arrow through the doorway at her.
You can always scream. Screaming is a free action.
Yeah, but that would also give me away.
True. All right. Then Ada's gonna stand up and roll initiative, I guess.
Because honestly, I was gonna have Lise like sneak around since you guys were in a discussion. I didn't wanna. Because like he was gonna do one of these to get around.
Do one of what? I was zoomed in.
He was gonna like pull one of these to get around. just walk, like, stealth around to come through this door.
Did he
But
have
you
time
guys-
to do that?
Let's see. Which way are you coming? Here? Around
I
this
was
way?
gonna go up to here, then across here, then down here. Yeah.
I mean,
I'll
if
say.
he runs,
I'll
that
say.
takes 6 seconds.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
gonna
say
do
you
that while
have
you were
time
talking.
for. I'll say you have time for a move action. Like once it kind of becomes clear that. Well, are you waiting for like when it's when she gets angry or what?
No, like as soon as they started talking, he was creeping around, like
Okay.
the entire discussion.
So, all right. So you come through this door, and there is another creature. Looks very similar to the butler that was out front, except this one's wearing a little chef's hat and is chopping up food.
I love him.
He doesn't seem
Ada
to.
hates him, but I love him.
He doesn't seem to pay Lisa any mind.
He just thinks I'm invited. But yeah, let me roll my initiative then. And I added a second person to the fight. Joy. Well, technically a third.
You can
Alright.
sneak attack him. He's flat-footed.
I could, but that seems mean.
He is wearing a hat.
And it is Lisa's turn.
And you had to mention he was wearing a hat. Lisa's just going to slide up and stab him in the back because he wants that hat.
Okay.
Oh my god.
It's a chaotic neutral action.
You're very glad that Ada's not
the epitome
watching.
of chaotic neutral.
I
That
mean,
would be a
Um,
12.
I think that would actually be chaotic evil.
Well, this
if it
is
was-
an evil creature.
if it wasn't a demon, then it would definitely be chaotic evil.
Okay.
But it is a demon.
That's a 12 plus whatever bonuses for Flatfoot or whatever.
I don't know. So Flatfoot doesn't actually give you a bonus. It just determines, they lose any dexterity bonus they have to their AC. I'm not sure
Okay.
exactly how, but somehow Lisa's rapier thrust just like goes over its head. It doesn't actually connect.
Stab the hat.
He stabbed the hat he was after.
Just that, what? He could then argue, it's like, I just wanted your hat. I got it on my sword
Yeah.
pie.
You could. I will say that you have his little chef hat speared on your rapier. That's your standard action. Is there anything else you want to do?
At least he's just gonna look mortified. That's gonna be his action.
Okay. This one, he drops his nice, calm butler persona, pulls a dagger out of his waistcoat, and begins charging down this way at Demetia, screaming wildly. And manages to do absolutely nothing.
Wow.
That was a
Stumbles
nat
on the
one.
rug.
He does.
What is with the rolls?
They're
Alexander.
making combat funny, guys. That's what this is.
Yeah, Alexander just stands up from his seat and yeah, he's just gonna shoot the butler because
Actually, leave the butler alone for now. Just go after the nightmare lady.
Okay, if you say so. Then yeah, he's gonna shoot the nightmare.
Okay.
19.
That in fact hits, and 2 points of damage.
Yeah, not that much, but and then reload. And that's it.
Alrighty, and Demetia, your turn.
Okay, Demetia is going to look at the demon butler who just tried to attack her and fell flat in his face.
Okay.
And
Are you
she's
gonna
going
stare at anybody?
yeah, I'm going to direct my stare toward the nightmare lady, but
Okay.
for now I just want to talk to the demon butler and tell him, hey, if you help us kill this lady, you'll get this whole mansion to yourself.
Alright, roll me diplomacy.
Let's see, that is a 19.
The butler kind of like, he stumbles over the edge of the carpet, like his knife swing kind of goes wide, and he looks at Demetia, he looks at the nightmare lady, he looks at Demetia, back at the nightmare lady, and you will find out exactly what he decides to do on his next turn. right now he seems to be making up his mind.
Okay, what kind of action was that?
You just talk to him. I don't think that burns one of your actions.
Okay, then I'm gonna shoot the Nightmare Lady.
Okay.
14.
Alright, so since she has not acted yet, she is counted as flat-footed, which means that does hit, and that does maximum damage.
Okay, I also add a d6 from the stair. So 13.
Alright, Demetia looses off a crossbow bolt. It lands in her side, and she lets out this just shriek of pain and rage.
Alright, move to reload, and that's all.
Alright. So, normally speaking, firing and reloading a ranged weapon does provoke an attack of opportunity. You've at least given the little demon butler man enough pause that he does not take advantage of those attacks of opportunity against Demetia. So, the rest of you, from the kitchen, or presumably the kitchen, from through this door, which is still closed, you hear another voice, very similar to the butler that's out here, shriek, "My hat!" And there's sounds of a scuffle.
Followed by Lisa shouting, "I just wanted the hat!"
The creature picks up a big chef's knife and just swings it at Lise.
Oh god, ow.
He wants that hat back. That's
The
4
hat
points
was
of
a
damage.
gift from his father.
If we have any fan art from this campaign, I want it to be that demon with a knife yelling "my hat." I will draw that. I'm working on it right now. I'm going to do
Okay.
it.
And that was max damage from him.
All right. The Nightmare Lady, now fully, now looking very much more disturbing than her initial, fairly normal-looking self, steps back from the table, kind of clutching at her side, and she reaches out a clawed hand toward Ada. And I'm going to need Ada to make a will save, please.
Come at me, bro. Dang it!
You had to
All right.
say it.
That is a nat 1 that automatically fails. And it is now Ada's turn. So Ada, as you are kind of standing up to begin attacking the Nightmare Lady, she reaches out a hand towards you. And as if you are kind of being controlled on puppet strings almost,
I'm sorry,
You-
guys.
You spin around and you swing your axe as hard as you can at Alexander.
Okay.
And that is 10 damage.
I'm sorry.
As soon as the attack lands, it's as if whatever force was controlling you just snaps off, and you see yourself with your axe buried in your friend's chest.
Ada just is like mouth open in horror.
I had to step away. Did Ada just cleave Alexander?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa's a bit busy with Demon Butler too, so they're engaged in a rapier versus chef's knife battle.
Alright. You do manage to stab the creature as it gibbers and howls and attempts to hack your arm off.
Lisa would have attempted to get the hat off first, though, so he doesn't bloody the hat.
I'll say that's a move action.
Yeah, he gets the hat off, then stabs him, and once he stabs him, 5 foot step back.
Okay. He seems kind of hurt, but not down. Alright, the butler, the one that Demetia kind of spoke to, lets out a little howl, hops up onto the table, and basically just tosses himself at the Nightmare Lady,
Woo!
making friends. Unfortunately, you did not make very effective friends, and she very easily just sidesteps out of the way of his attack. Alright, Alexander.
He's just gotten axed. He's not happy. But he's known Ada long enough to know that there's no chance that she did that on her own, especially not when they're dealing with some nightmarish creature in a dream world.
Also, Ada appears to have this look of, like, just abject shock and horror at what she's just done.
Yeah, so his response is to immediately level another shot directly at the nightmare thing.
Alright.
She just wanted to ask you a question.
And maybe step out of the room once you're done.
I was muted so you didn't hear the noise that I just made, but there was a noise in reaction to the pun.
11 hit its touch.
11 does not hit her touch AC. She is dodging the knife attack of the demon and throws off your shot.
So, well, yeah, that's not all I do yet.
Okay.
I'm going to then... Let's see, there's 30 that I can do. I'm going to move to there for now.
Okay.
And then that'll be it.
Alright, so you are unloaded since you used your move action for movement.
Yes.
Getting out of Ada's range.
Getting out of everyone's range, but still within range of this thing.
Alright, Demisha.
Okay, let's see. Gonna move here. And fire a crossbow bolt at the nightmare.
Okay.
17.
Alright, that hits, and that does 7 plus your extra d6.
So 12.
25 damage in 2 turns. Nice.
And the bolt kind of strikes her. She, like, turns this look of just abject fury toward Demisha, lets out this blood-curdling howl, and begins to take a step forward. But as you watch, she almost seems to dissolve into this puddle of just putrid goo, for lack of a better term.
Oh, so I killed it?
You killed it. There are still sounds of a scuffle from inside the kitchen, so we're not going to leave initiative order just yet. The demon chef continues attempting to reclaim his lost hat.
17 AC, that's a miss.
Yep, very narrowly misses taking another chunk out of Lise. Continues gibbering and wailing and howling. And you don't need to be initiative anymore. Ada.
I finished the sketch. Anyways, Ada just looks terrified. Like, not terrified, she looks horrified with herself. And, like, very mad. Because not only did she hurt Alexander, but she also didn't help whatsoever to make up for it. So she's gonna stomp over here and kick the door open.
You see a very small demon wearing the chef's apron, and Lise fending him off with a rapier with the chef's hat in his other hand.
She's gonna say, "What the hell is going on in here?"
I wanted his hat, and he wouldn't give it to me.
I mean, you didn't ask nicely. You could have tried that.
Least believes in taking what he wants.
Ada's gonna come in here and she's not even gonna use the battle axe. She's just gonna try to deck the demon butler. She's just gonna punch him.
Okay. That will provoke an AOO since he is armed.
I don't
and you...
care.
Okay.
You should just try to, like, blunt him with the axe.
I could do that. Actually, yeah, she's got a trait that lets her do non-lethal damage, so she's gonna do that
Okay.
instead. There.
You conk him over the head. He staggers a little bit, but he seems to still be conscious.
She's also just going to tell him to stop it with an intimidate. Just stop it.
Okay.
No. It's my turn to let the die roller hate me.
All right.
Lise is, for one, going to just be baffled at how non-intimidating Ada is. And
Stop it!
He just glances at her like, I want this hat, and then he's going to stab the demon, because it is trying to murder him. And he misses wildly.
Not wildly, narrowly, but he does miss. Yes, you are correct.
And at that point, 5 foot step out of Ada's reach.
All right. This one, the one that Demisha made a friend, turns toward Demisha, kind of looks up at her and goes, "My house now?" and nods.
Yep, your house now. Pleasure doing business with you.
All right. Alexander.
He's just gonna sit on that table because yeah, he just sits down and he reloads because he has an axe wound now. He's not a fan of having an axe wound.
All right. Demisha.
Okay, well, she can't really do a whole lot with Ada in the way, so she's just gonna stand in the doorway and stare at the other butler menacingly.
Okay. So activating Mesmer Stare. I assume reload your crossbow as well. Well, you moved, but you can like
There's no need.
move action to move. Yeah. But still, like you can still do that if you want to, just to be safe. But
Okay.
whatever. Yeah. And the demon considers attacking Ada, but he wants his hat back, so he's going to continue going for Lise, and 3 points of damage.
Lise is not a fan because he is now at under half his health, but I have that effect active.
Right.
I've been hit twice, so it would be what, 2d6 temporary hit points?
It would still be 1d8 plus your class level, correct?
I believe it's... crap, let me check.
Okay. It flips to 2d8 base if the attack that triggers it would have knocked you unconscious.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's 1d8 plus 1, or 2d8 plus 1 if you're about to be KO'd.
Okay.
And that's Demisha's call if she activates it or not. Like, Lise has 7 hit points left. He's a little bit wobbly.
It is far more efficient if we wait until you're about to be KO'd.
Okay.
So, not to interrupt, but what does the gremlin thing's apron say?
Kiss the cook.
That's what I thought.
In
Anyways.
Abyssal.
I
Let
don't
me
know
see
how
if I
to
can
write
write
an
that.
abyssal.
You can just write it in English, that's fine.
Alright,
It is Ada's turn.
I'm gonna smack him again. Non-lethally. Just non-lethal smack.
Alright, he kind of staggers a little bit and seems very, very woozy, but still up.
I'm gonna... Wait, no, I can't move. Can I 5 foot step back here?
I'll allow it.
And then can I go over here and apologize profusely?
Since you 5 foot stepped, then...
Oh,
no.
then I'm gonna apologize profusely from here.
Okay. I will leave it to Alexander whether or not he accepts the apologies, and it is Lisa's turn.
Lise is very disappointed in himself, but he has to defend his honor. He is failing at defending his honor today. And then 5 foot step back.
Alright. This one kind of jumps down on the table. He seems jumps over. He seems very delighted that this is now his house, and he's now hopping in the pile of goo left by the nightmare. Alright, Alexander, are you going to take any combat actions here?
No, he's just sort of resting, and he sort of waves off Ada's attempts to apologize. He doesn't care. He knows it wasn't her. He's fine.
Okay. Alright, Demisha.
Okay, well, since I have space to now, I might as well... Can I fire at him from here?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Welcome to the missing club.
Fortunately for you, he is so fixated on Lise, he does not notice the crossbow bolt flying over top of his head. Oh wait, that was his turn. And he's going to continue attempting to hack Lise to death. And continue to not.
It's one demon butler. How is he failing so miserably?
And now it's Ada's turn. Again, if you don't have any like combat actions you want to take, that's fine. We can handle in character.
Ada's gonna offer to heal Alexander.
That would be nice.
There you go. You get 5 back.
Yay.
And Lise.
In a last-ditch attempt, he is going to try and stab it, but he's going to try to avoid the apron. Critical threat. Not a crit.
I'll say that's still enough to avoid the apron, and you stab the demon through kind of the upper chest area, and it collapses. He's not technically dead, he's just unconscious because of Ada's non-lethal damage, but he is now out of the fight, and we are out of initiative order at this point.
And Lise confiscates the apron to go with his new hat.
Okay. Lise finishes taking the apron off of the butler, at which point the conscious little demon begins kind of making like shooing motions with his hands, like, you know, my house now, my house, go, I must claim.
Okay.
Like kind of stops things for a second. The cellar, you can have the cellar. Cellar's has strange thing in cellar. You can have that. I take the rest. Go now, please.
Okay, then enjoy.
And he's just like sprinting around the house at this point, like super excited.
And while he's sprinting, Lise is going the other way to rejoin with the group.
So we know what we're to do next, right?
Go in the cellar, I guess.
Yep.
Also, point of order, when Demisha's crossbow bolt finally killed the nightmare, all of you felt like kind of the stinging sensation in the back of your hand where the eye symbol was imprinted. And if you examine it, it's a little bit hard to tell in the kind of flickering, only moderately bright candlelight, but it appears to be slightly fainter now.
This is one of those temporary tattoos. What a ripoff.
It's not a tattoo. We already ruled that out when we checked the tattoo parlor.
Alright, so you guys are able to search around. There's a couple of different ways into the cellar. There's, you know, the stairs over here. There's a set of stairs over here, which I think you have to get through this, like, back room. There's a set of outside stairs over here. Probably the outside stairs are the safest bet because the little demon butler is going to continue shooing you out of his new home if he runs past you where you are. But you are able to, with a little bit of time, find the stairs to the cellar. And here, let's see.
During this time, what is the potion of cure light wound? 1d6 or 1d8?
1d8 plus 1.
Because Lise is actually, like, relatively injured. And he already took Ada's potion earlier.
Alright, 1 second. I'm going to shift maps here real quick.
Okay. So yeah, while they're doing that, he's going to go ahead and just drink his potion for 6 points. Because he was significantly injured. He took 9 points of damage between that fight and the one before it.
Oh,
Alright.
wait, there's stairs over here, too. Were those stairs in the first floor downstairs? Like, they go downstairs?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh.
like there's one half of that stairwell went down, one half went up. Yeah, it took me a few minutes to like parse how that set of stairs worked, just looking at the maps. But yes,
I thought you said there was a second floor, like they went
There is.
upstairs. Oh,
there is. Yeah, it was like 2 stairwells next to each other. One stairwell goes up, one stairwell goes down. It makes sense looking at the maps. But yeah. So you guys come inside. The demon said something about there's something strange on downstairs in the cellar. Just looking at it, it looks pretty normal. You know, there's casks. Yeah. That's not immediately obvious. There are casks of like wine or beer or something. Maybe blood. Given what you've seen so far, it could be blood or something else like that. You don't know. But you do notice this one kind of being knocked ajar, and that you can see some flickering light coming from a gap in the wall behind the barrel.
Detect magic and look through the gap.
Okay, magic.
There's something back
Transmutation
there.
magic specifically.
You said what type?
Transmutation.
Okay, I had to roll a spellcraft for
Yeah.
that.
Technically, yes, but
I'm just gonna go ahead and roll it and just see, because might as well. That would be d20 plus 5. I really need to make a spellcraft check with how many of these I've been doing. 21.
yeah, you can identify that.
Okay, and he just points like transmutation magic of some sort beyond that way.
I'm gonna move the barrel.
He's
Okay.
going to scout, like investigate.
All right. So Lise poking around, this area, you don't really find anything. You do notice there's another gap in the wall over here, although this one doesn't have the flickering light behind it. Ada, you are able to move the barrel over, and there's a little tunnel. You have to like kind of duck and crawl through it, but it looks like it opens into a wider cavern, and there are candles and a symbol on the floor.
Well,
I
he's
don't
going to
like-
come back
I'm
and
gonna
report back.
detect evil on it.
Not evil.
Out the other passage with the kegs over on the other side, with no light beyond it, or
Would you
no
like me to
flickering
move
light
that
beyond
barrel
it.
too?
I can see down that way if you move the barrel so I can squeeze through.
Demisha, are you coming downstairs? I move the thing.
Yeah, you're pretty easily. It's a little more difficult because there's other barrels in the way. Lise is able to get through this hole. You can see because
Dark vision.
It appears to be a natural cavern, maybe artificially widened a little bit, but looks probably natural base.
I'm gonna roll a stealth check. 23,
Okay.
and just slide down, and just check out this cavern a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, you sneak on in. You're being real quiet. Nothing really jumps out towards you.
And did we have to crawl through this one, or was this one easy to just like walk through?
Both you kind of have to duck and crawl a little bit.
Well, he's gonna poke his head back out and point out that like this one is dark, but he can lead the way because they know that there's some light over that other way. So there might be something waiting for him. They don't know.
Okay.
Like at least this way they can prepare by going down this route.
All right. So Lisa's taking point then.
He's the only one who can really see.
Yeah.
Because like once they hit like the area where the light's coming off of, they can use the low light vision.
Right. So Lisa's being very sneaky down the hallway. I'm assuming this direction.
Yeah, he's just slowly going, winding his way through.
Okay. You get about to here, and there's some kind of symbol drawn in the floor. That's kind of the center of the magic. There are candles burning around it. You don't see anything else attending to it. You don't see anything else around.
I will admit that he grudgingly was holding Domisha's hand and leading her through.
Aww.
Because he's afraid that she's gonna get lost trying to make friends.
Ada's just walking really slowly.
He probably had oh no. He probably suggested that everyone hold hands so they don't get lost since he's the only one who can see.
Ada will hold Demisha's hand. Alexander! Alexander! You guys, remind me to send you a video later.
Oh no.
Alexander!
But yeah, but he's just leading them that way, and once they hit the light, he'll let go.
Alright, so yeah, you guys sneak on up. The symbol doesn't really do anything as of yet. It's just kind of sitting there, just being symbol-like. Candles being flickery and suitably ominous.
Can I roll a Knowledge Arcana on it?
You can.
I'm going to do a religion. 16.
12.
Doesn't match any known religious symbols. Knowledge Arcana, just kind of studying the aura, it doesn't appear. It appears to be intended to act on the stone that it's written on, not on creatures moving nearby or anything.
But that's all I know, so it's just something to do with underneath it.
Yeah.
At least he's just gonna shrug his shoulders like, I don't know, this isn't my area of expertise.
Domisha, do you want to take a look at this?
Do we see any creatures?
You do not see any creatures. It's just the creepy circle and the creepy candles.
Alright, Domisha is gonna walk up to one of the candles and kick it over.
Okay. Once Demisha reaches about this area, the circle begins to glow, kind of turns bright red and then white, and then there's this like very, very bright light emanating from it. And when the light fades, instead of a circular symbol drawn on the ground, there is a pit and a it's just like there's a hole in the floor, just going down somewhere below.
Huh. Neat.
Levitate time.
I kick over one of the candles.
It falls over, sputters out. The hole does not seem phased.
Die, candle.
I'm trying to remember what... Does dancing lights actually create light?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Okay. Because I can use that once a day to light up the hole.
I can use it
Domisha
twice a
can do
day.
it.
And I can cast light.
Yeah, I can't cast light, so...
Yeah, light's a cantrip for Mesmerus, so she can cast that as many times as she wants.
Yeah, so Demisha could light up the hole, but at least she's just gonna get close to it, but not in it, and just look down the hole with dark vision.
Okay. Well, you look down. As you kind of get close, you hear what sounds like whistling of a wind. There's maybe a 40-foot drop thereabouts, and then there's snow on the ground under you. And you see, like, snow falling. Like wind-blown snow coming across the area that you're looking down into.
At least without any hint of irony, just says, we're not in Caesium anymore.
That you are not.
What gave it away?
The snow.
It snows in Caesium.
Really? I thought it
It's
was a
snowing
dark
down a
forest
hole.
with the creepy crows and the weird sky.
But yeah, at least he's just gonna like point down the hole. He's going to what is it to secure like a rope and pitons?
You've got all the time in the world. I think you can just do it.
Yeah,
That's true.
I don't think there's a particular check for it. It's just you have to take the time to secure it in.
I think it's
Okay.
a sleight of hand check.
Yeah,
That's the
we were
hide it.
rolling it. Yeah, we were rolling it last time because you're trying to be sneaky about it. Like you're trying to, try to do it without being obvious that you're hammering something in. In
That's-
this case, you can just go at it.
That's not what I meant. I mean, like, even in D&D, sleight of hand is used for dexterous, hand-based skill activities. Like
Yeah.
tying knots.
Like I think legitimately the rules for the piton just say it takes like this action to hammer it in. Doesn't say anything about like a skill check necessarily.
Okay, Lisa's going to take 20 to just like hammer the baton in and slip the rope over it, and then just put the rope down the hole.
All right, rope drops down. It's dangling, like it lands on the ground and just kind of like flumps in the snow when it hits.
But he just points at like there's a safe way down now. Because I've already wasted the. Well, he doesn't say waste. It's like I've already used the one time I can soften our fall.
Okay. Demisha grabs the rope and slides down like a fireman.
All right. Yeah, Demisha just drops down, lands in the snow, doesn't get like zapped by any magic circle, just doesn't really seem like harmed or anything by it. Rest of
Yay,
y'all follow?
snow.
Yep,
Ada's
Lisa's
gonna go
back.
last.
Lisa will go after Demisha then, so she doesn't wander off.
She's not wandering off, she's rolling around in the snow.
He's just going to stare at her once he gets down then.
I forget what
Alright.
Alexander's nightmare was in the beginning of the campaign.
I kind of do too, actually.
He was
Was it the boat thing?
yeah, it was the boat thing. He was on a
Oh.
lake. And there was a monster.
Okay.
So you land in a snow-swept, wind-swept, just field. You appear to be on a mountain of some description. The ground like kind of slopes up in one direction. You see above you just this circle of stone with Lisa's rope hanging down from it, just floating in midair. And you can see the ceiling of the cellar through it, but you step to the side and you can look over top of it, and it's just nothing's there. Through the snow, but further upslope, there appears to be some sort of structure. Just you see like a dark silhouette against the horizon.
Well, Lisa's going to take point and just start investigating.
At some point between here and like when we finished the fight, or finished the last fight, Ada is also going to have had mentioned that like she recognized the lady's voice and that it was from a dream.
Lisa's then going to point out the forest kind of resembled the one that was trying to strangle him in his dream.
I jumped about a tavern and green fire. I didn't see either of those things. So,
I mean,
Ah.
I only heard her voice. What I saw wasn't important.
All I know is I recognized the forest. It was dark and spooky and kind of reminded me of home.
Alright. So, after a little ways, as you are kind of comparing notes and mentioning things that you noticed, you find some sort of fort-like structure. It leads up to a type of watchtower, it seems, kind of resting out over a cliff face. There are stairs up that Lisa appears to be beginning to scale.
Lisa's inspecting as he goes, just like making sure there's no false stairs or nothing slippery.
Okay, roll trap find.
27.
All right. As Lise is making his way up, he notices on this stair right about here a plate that looks like could depress if someone stepped on it, and some suspiciously chest and head high holes in this wall next to them.
Well, let me look at my trap finding real quick to make sure I don't set it off when I'm trying to disarm it.
I think if you fail by 5 or more, if you fail the DC by 5 or more, you set it off.
That's why I'm looking at my trap finding. Let's see. Okay, and I can't really take 20 on this, so... Well, I could, but that would take time. So he's going to just, like, stay away from it and just try to disable it.
Okay.
17.
All right. You're able to kind of jam the pressure plate, and you're fairly positive that it will not depress enough to activate the mechanism.
How cold is it, by the way? Is it like super cold?
So, it ought to be. Based on the way it looks, like based on the way, snow is falling, howling wind, you ought to be like shivering right now. It ought to be like the kind of cold that like gets into your bones. But it feels fairly neutral, honestly. Like, you don't really feel that cold.
Lisa's going to try to step over it, like pointing at the group that it's there and try to step over the pressure plate.
Yeah, you're able to bypass it fairly easily at this
Yeah,
point.
he was just doing it so like it doesn't depress, so they don't like walk flat on it and get stabbed.
Right.
So up the stairs he goes, inspecting the whole way.
All right.
This probably isn't relevant, but the 16 perception just to like keep an eye on things.
Okay. It seems fairly quiet. All you can really hear is the howling of the wind.
Alexander. And yes, Lisa actually called that in character. He just looked back and like, Alexander, are you coming?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just going to go ahead and grab that video and put it in the Discord so I don't forget about it.
Okay. So yeah, you notice that the structure is a little bit cracked through here, but as long as you're stepping carefully, you feel like you should be able to make it up just fine.
He's going to suggest that they go back down and check the other way. Because he looks at Ada.
Okay.
He just looks at Ada and then gestures to the cracks like, I don't want you falling through those.
Oh, that's sweet. He
You
doesn't
can
say
take
that in character.
Okay, he's just like, you take a punch a lot better than I do.
So, are you checking this other staircase over here?
Yeah, he's gonna go and check that staircase once he's able to get
Alright.
through people.
All right. I'll say, like, knowing what to look for, you're able to find a similarly placed trap, basically the mirror image of that other one. Go ahead and roll another disable check.
18.
Okay. Yeah, you're also able to jam this one.
Wait, I'm trying to figure out how did my disabled device? Oh, because I rolled a 6 and then a 7. Okay, I'm like, I thought my modifier had changed. But yeah, once it's clear, he's gonna go up and check this way. Check for better footing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not cracked. There's a few like cracks in the stone over here. Honestly, Ada probably would have been fine going over this way, but
He's gonna motion for them to come this way. Plus, now they have 2 ways to get out if they have to.
Yep. All right. So, as Elise moves up, and the rest of you as well, we'll see the same kind of thing. As you all move up, you notice this odd yellowish glow coming from the upper level of the watchtower, and it's still hard to see because the light's not very bright and there's driving snow still. But you see some sort of shape up in this vicinity up here.
At that point, he's going to take a step behind Ada.
Detect evil. Well, hang on. I'm not close enough.
Is it 30 feet or 60 feet? 60 feet, isn't
60. It's 60.
Okay.
Lisa's just checking as they go to make sure she's not bumbling into a trap.
That's about close enough.
All right. So you activate your detect evil, and you trigger. You find an aura of evil of about the same magnitude as previous Nightmare Lady.
Ada's just going to look back at the others and say it's another one.
Demisha loads her crossbow. which was already loaded.
Either it has not taken notice of you yet, or it has noticed you and just isn't really doing anything.
So
These
Ada's gonna
be-
stop here because she's not sneaky.
Lisa, as an asshole, is donning the chef hat and apron. Just because why not? And he's going
Excellent.
to roll a stealth.
Alright.
A 14.
Now
So
roll a disguise check.
he doesn't have a disguise kit, so
No, I mean for the hat and the apron.
that wouldn't count. I don't think.
I only got a 12.
He's not being stealthy, like not compared to normal.
Alright, so where are you guys? So Demisha and Lise, you're stealthing forward. Where do you guys go?
He's gonna go up to here and then stop.
Okay.
Actually, Demisha's got a good idea. Hide in the shadow.
Alright. Hold there for just a second. I need to check on one thing real quick.
We're just gonna stick Alexander with the buddy system right now.
Alright. I feel like we're harassing him a little bit.
A little bit.
It's done out of affection.
I mean, Lise would just tie the rope to you and hand it to Ida, but it's already up on the top of the thing.
I think I have a rope. I do.
Are we contemplating making an Alexander kite?
Not a kite. I'm not gonna waste my one use of levitate today.
What is... Who put the X there?
Just marking a square. So as Lise and Demisha kind of sneak forward and Ada and Alexander hang back, all of a sudden there's this sibilant kind of hissing sound from up top, up this area, and this field of black tentacles springs up from out of the ground. Everyone who is within a 20-foot radius spread of this, which I believe is basically all of you.
Maybe not Alexander.
Because we were moving him because he was just like standing still, so he can be
No.
wherever he wants to be.
No, it's Alexander too.
Well, I
Yeah.
moved him, so he might not be there.
If I was moving on my own, I probably would have. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
That thing not working. I probably would have had him right here. So
You still would have been in range.
yeah.
Look at us
Alright.
all being all symmetrical. What are we rolling? Reflex?
You all aren't rolling anything right now. There is a grapple check made against
Okay.
all of you.
What's that versus?
Combat
your
maneuver
CMD.
defense.
Which yours is 17.
Okay.
It's on your token.
Let me see if I have. Okay, I changed mine recently when it needed to be
Yeah,
changed.
mine's gone up too.
Well, I got grappled, so it didn't matter.
I got grappled.
I did not.
Okay. So
3 of 4.
and if you got grappled, go ahead and roll 1d6 plus 4 damage.
For ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, I took 8 damage.
And I took 7, so I'm glad I used that potion. I would have been knocked out.
All right, and everybody roll initiative as well.
My initiative rolls are just crap today.
Those of us still grappled. Are we still grappled? Like, did
Yes.
it grab us and let us go, or okay, we're still held.
You are grappled. All right. So everything within 20 feet of this is considered difficult terrain, and those of you who are grappled, you must attempt to break the grapple before you are allowed to move. So either a escape artist or a combat maneuver check. And Amisha's up first.
Well, my combat maneuver bonus is terrible, and so is my escape artist bonus, but escape artist is better. Oh, hello, what are you?
That's the thing that's up on the top of the watchtower.
Okay,
Exactly.
well, I don't really have much choice in the matter but to try and escape. So I'm gonna die, aren't I?
Not necessarily. So that's your standard action attempting to break the grapple. Excuse me. A 1 plus. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that does not succeed. I doubt you have a sufficient
No.
escape artist to get loose from that. So you still have your move action. You can't really use it to move per se, but you could use it for something else, like if you want to grab and chug a potion. That would be something that you could do.
I gave my potion to Ada.
And that
All right.
was your first mistake.
All right. So, is there anything else you want Demisha to do?
Can't you stare at it?
Is it a creature?
Yes. So up on the top of the watchtower, it looks almost like a humanoid shape with like this metal cage around and hanging off of it.
Nope, I meant the tentacles.
Oh, the tentacles? No, the tentacles are not a creature.
That's a spell.
Yes.
Is it Everard's Black Tentacles?
With the serial numbers and, Wizards of the Coast copyrighted name filed off, yes. Yes, it is.
Surprised at least didn't detect that with detect magic while they were coming up.
So this
It's not a trap. It's a.
Yeah, it wasn't a trap. This thing, it's a spell-like ability that this thing used as you were approaching.
Gotcha. So it waited until I had no chance to alert people. Gotcha.
Oh,
Alright, so is
I
that
don't really have anything else that I can do, but I guess I'll stare at the nightmare.
okay? All right, Lise.
16, and I had to do that against what it rolled on me, I believe.
That's against the CMD. Technically, the spell doesn't have a CMD. Like normally speaking, a spell doesn't, but it's got an effective CMD for the purpose of the spell. So, Lise is just barely able to wriggle free of the tentacles.
That's my standard action, so for my move action, I'm going to go ahead and draw my bow, because this thing is hostile.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold position here, because I'm still at least, semi-covered.
Yes. These walls are, I'll say, about 3 feet tall, enough that, especially if you're crouching, you can get most to full cover behind you.
Yeah, Lisa's going to crouch, because he's not even 5 feet tall.
Aww.
He's 4'10", so he's just going to crouch and just, disappear behind the wall. He is tiny.
All right. From the top of the hill, the nightmare creature appears just to kind of stand there. Doesn't really seem to be doing much of anything yet. And Alexander.
Okay. You said either escape or combat maneuver bonus to try to get out of the grapple?
Correct.
Okay. That would be a 10.
That is not enough to escape the grapple.
Am I able to do anything else?
You still have a move action. You can't use it to move away, but again, you can use it to grab something on your person. If you have a potion or something that you can swig.
I should still have one, yeah. I don't think I've ever used it. I don't think I've ever taken damage till today, actually. Because we all bought potions, didn't we?
We each got one. Me,
Yeah.
Ada, and Demisha have all used ours, because Ada used hers
Yes,
on
there
me.
it is. I found it in my inventory. Yeah, I still have it. What is it actually? A D8?
D8 plus 1.
Yes.
Woo! So yeah, drink potion.
All right.
Yeah, heals you full up, considering you only took like 5 from that.
Well, I was at 9 because, yeah.
Yeah, Ada,
Yeah,
cleaving
that's-
you.
Okay, so difficult terrain, I can only move at half speed, right?
Yeah. Effectively, each square costs
and I
double
can't
movement.
charge.
Correct.
Well, this is going to be a slog. There, I can move that far.
I mean, you
And then
probably
I
could
can take my other action to move also. There.
You could have moved to like try to cut Alexander free.
Would that work?
You could try it.
But,
You're afraid of cleaving him again.
yes, I am.
That's
Alexander-
Aiden's coming at Alexander with an
Alexander.
axe again. No.
Yeah. I see Aiden
No.
approaching you with axe raised.
Please don't. Why is everything
I find it slightly amusing that the X in like Alexander's rifles matches the X like here.
It kind of
Just
does.
slightly. Anyways, I've gotten this far. No one can stop me.
All right.
Oh boy.
So now, before we go back to the top of the round, the tentacles are going to attempt to maintain the grapple
knew
on the
it.
ones that are still grappled. All right.
God
Does
damn
that
it.
actually beat your CMD, Demisha?
By 1
Yeah.
point, yes.
Dang.
Your CMD must be really low then.
It's 13.
Wow.
And is your 17, Alexander?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
It might have gone up. I don't know if you updated it on your properties, but
Is 17 on my sheet. So.
okay. All right. Damage in the same order.
D6 plus 4? Is that right?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh no, Demisha just took 9 and so does Alexander.
Yep.
Yeah,
9 to
so
both of you.
I'm at -4.
All right.
I will save you.
So Demisha is unconscious.
I guess that means no more staring.
All right. Demisha, it is now your turn. So you're at -5 hit points.
-4.
-4. Okay. So make a Constitution check, and you need a 14 or better to stabilize.
Constitution check, huh?
Yes. So just D20 plus your Constitution modifier.
Which is 0.
All right. So since you failed to stabilize, you drop 1 more hit point, and continue bleeding.
Yeah, none of this is going well for Demisha at all. She's gonna die.
Okay, as an out of character question, when it comes to like trying to free people from a grapple, what would that roll normally be?
I would allow a combat maneuver check. I would allow an attack roll just to like slash at it and hope that the pain on whatever it is causes it to let go. If you can argue something, like if you want to do like sleight of hand to try to or sleight of hand or escape art or something like that to try to like wiggle them free.
I probably have a better chance of doing that than attacking it, honestly. So, Elise is going to slide over here, which is his full movement, and he's going to try to like wiggle Demisha free, and my sleight of hand and escape artist are both a +9, so...
Okay.
Gonna try to get her free with a 25.
Alright, you managed to get Demisha free from the tentacles.
And that's my full action for moving. Because she was kind of a higher priority than Alexander right now.
Fair. The creature moves to the top of the stairs and stops.
What type of damage was it?
It was from the grapple. Let's see.
I think it's technically bludgeoning.
Yeah, it doesn't give a specific type, but that makes the most sense to me for the type dealt by a grapple to be bludgeoning damage.
So, it's kind of weird that I'm bleeding out from something like that. Did it crush my
Internal
bones?
bleeding. Internal
Yeah.
bleeding.
Like, bleeding out is just the Pathfinder term for you are unconscious at negative HP and losing 1 more HP each round. Once you manage to pass a Constitution check or a heal skill check, or any amount of magical healing, you will be, if you're still negative, you'll still be unconscious, but you won't be losing hit points each round anymore. Yeah, it's more of a rules thing than like you literally have wounds that are bleeding right now.
Okay.
That +4 damage is what hurt a lot.
Yeah, it does. All right, Alexander.
Let's see if I can get out. That would be a 22.
That works.
Yay! What should I do?
Well, it's your standard action to break the grapple. This entire area right now is difficult terrain, so each square effectively costs 10 feet of movement instead of 5.
Oh, good. I guess all I can do is just,
Bet.
yeah.
All right. Ada.
I'm gonna come here and do a lay on hands.
Okay.
Well, you're not conscious, but you're stable.
Yeah, so you no longer have to make checks to stay, stop bleeding.
Does that bring me up to 0 or -1?
-1.
-1. And I'm pretty sure that's all I can do.
I believe it's a move action to use lay on hands on anybody
No,
other
it's
than yourself.
standard.
It's a standard. Okay, then yeah. Either way, that would be all.
It's swift on me, but standard
Alright.
for everybody else.
Okay, well, it's my turn, but I'm stable. What do I do?
Nothing. Screaming is always a free action.
How do I get rid of a drawing?
How do what?
Is it on the token layer?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, at the top of this round, the tentacles kind of dissipate and sink back into the stone. Demisha is unconscious, but no longer bleeding. She is stable again. So as soon as she gets back positive, she will be conscious and able to act once more. So either another lay on hands, or if someone's got a potion, something like that.
I only have one more lay on hands.
And Alexander's got the last potion.
Nah.
No, he took it.
Oh, so we have no more potions.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Lise, you're up.
Maybe we'll find a treasure chest, you guys.
Yeah, Lisa's going to. He's gonna step to here, still like crouch behind. Like he's gonna pop up, take a shot, and then crouch back down.
Okay.
But now you're in the way of my charge.
You can't charge in difficult terrain.
It's not difficult anymore. The tentacles went away.
Right. So, but I can't shoot past you either.
You could shoot from where you were, I think.
Well, I could,
There
but
was a wall.
would I
Can
rescue
charge-
Domisha?
Can't charge like this.
That's a valid charge, Pat. And like,
Okay,
Demisha
never
is
mind.
currently
I'm just
currently
being
on the
difficult.
ground.
Okay.
I'm just
Yeah.
being difficult.
Like, you could shoot from where you were without a risk of hitting her because she's like laying at your feet.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Because the reason I was doing that was because I was gonna duck down behind the cover, shoot, and use that as like partial concealment.
Okay. Yeah, that's
So
fine.
yeah, pop up, take a shot with the short bow with a 23, and then duck back down.
All right. The arrow kind of strikes the creature. It's like it's in one of these cages, the kind of cages they would use to like you put somebody in and like kind of like dangle them off the side of the castle.
I think
it's in one of
gibbet
those.
or gibbet.
Yeah,
Like
I think that's right. I think that's the term. It's in one of those, and it's almost using it like armor, but your bow is able to shoot through it, and it kind of lets out this howling shriek.
That's my turn. Just move, shoot, duck.
Alrighty, let's see here. The nightmare kind of begins making its way down the stairs, and in its hands it has this long pole with this kind of vicious curved hook on it, and it's going to take a swing at Lise with that hook. I will say you've got a 20% concealment from partial cover at that position. That seem fair?
That sounds better than I was expecting, so.
Okay. Let's see. If I'm going to roll a d10, if it's a 1 or 2, that attack misses because of cover.
Everybody pray. Dang it!
He's unconscious and bleeding because he's at negative.
All right.
He had 6 health.
Gosh.
So it
So
walks
has
up
to
and...
pick one.
All right, Alexander.
I question, do I need to roll a constitution because I just got knocked unconscious? Or will that be on my...
It's on your turn.
Yeah, it'll be on your turn.
Oh.
And then from there, I'm just gonna try shooting at it.
All right, that most definitely does hit.
Yay! And then reload. Because, Jesus. That's all I can do.
All right. Ada.
Alright, I'm gonna do something I probably should have done a while ago, but actually I couldn't because we weren't close enough together. Hang on.
You're going to use your
Yeah,
not
sorry.
a smite.
Mom tried to ask me where the cat was, but with hand signals, and she's not as good at it as Lisa's. First, I'm going to use my last lay on hands on Lise, so he's conscious again. And
Okay, 5.
then I'm going to use Bastion of Good. So everybody now takes half damage from anything this creature does, and I get, except for me, I take full damage, but my AC against it is now a 22. There's just this burst of light, mostly from Ada's shield, and it sort of encompasses all of you guys.
Okay.
And she's just gonna say, stay close to me. Do I still have a free action?
Yeah, you do.
There.
In fact, I think you have a move
Actually,
action.
I still have a move action.
How far is the range of that skill?
Oh. It's when I activate it.
Okay. So it counts as long as we were close when you activated it.
I believe so.
I know some skills specify like maintained, which is why I was being careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to double check.
Yeah.
But I think...
So,
It's
go ahead.
it's within 10 feet of me, but it's attacks this thing makes. So now it has to go through me to get to you guys anyway. So
Question, like with where Ada is, can I still shoot without hitting her since I got like this side angle?
I'm not technically engaged yet. I haven't swung.
yeah, I mean,
That's true.
you are technically in melee. I will allow it. Demisha, so you're still unconscious, and you're kind of like aware of that fact that you're unconscious, but You remember how like you tried to do the whole like flame out of your hands thing?
Yeah.
Go ahead and just roll me a will save.
Will save.
Yep.
24.
Okay. You remember how?
Well, actually, that should be a
Okay.
20, just a 20, because I lose a +4 bonus if I don't have access to my emotional components.
Okay. I would say being unconscious does allow that. So the whole thing about like reality being to a degree mutable on this plane, I will say that like you're aware that you're unconscious, but you know it's worth a shot. The whole like well, I didn't manage to shoot fire out of my hands, but maybe, and you just see if you can will yourself awake, and surprisingly enough, it works. I'm going to say that that's adorable. I was looking at like this was a pair. I was looking at like this was a pair of glasses, and it was like an upside down face. That makes more sense now. You're still at -1 HP. You are still staggered, so only a move or a standard each turn. But you are able to basically just will yourself back to consciousness.
Really?
Yep. That is, like I said, that's not by default. That does not work. By default, you just be laying there until we could get our hands on some more healing. But because the nature of reality is somewhat mutable here, and because you've already tried to manipulate it once, I'll allow it.
Okay. So I got a 20 on my will save. What does that do for me now?
You wake up.
Yep. So you're still at -1 hit point, but you are now conscious. You're staggered, so you can only take a single move or standard action. You're currently prone, so it would be a move action to like stand back up from where you are. But you are able to act, and you are conscious. Any
Okay.
further damage is going to put you unconscious again.
Then what would be the best possible action for me to take? I could try and put it to sleep.
You could try that, yeah.
Do you think that's a good idea, guys?
I mean, you could try and let's see.
Go
it's-
for it.
It's 10
Yeah,
foot
go
reach
for
wouldn't
it.
hit you there.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright. So I'm going to target this space, roughly, so that it only hits the nightmare.
Okay.
DC 17 will save. Fuck.
Great.
Well,
That
good night,
would-
guys.
That would have potentially ended this combat very, very quickly, but it rolled just a bit too high. All right. So that is Demisha's turn. Lise, go for it.
Okay, since Ada is not technically engaged yet, he's going to take a shot because he can't do anything else at this point.
All right.
That would be a 22 for 5 damage. And then as soon as he
Alright.
does that, 5 foot step back.
I have an idea. Not for you, but on my turn.
Okay. Yeah. Just he takes a shot and then back steps so he doesn't get cleaved again.
All right. Let's see. The creature isn't going to attempt to strike at Ada with its long hook on a stick. Instead, it is going to slam the butt of it on the ground, and there's this ripple of just jagged rock that springs up from around, like centered around the point where the creature is. I'm going to need everyone to make me a reflex save.
Is this stone call?
Not exactly.
I automatically fail reflex saves, right?
No, not necessarily. You are conscious.
Oh, I still am?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it would only be for one turn.
No, it's until you take damage again.
23. Wow.
So Misha's rolling better than the rogue.
Mine's 14.
How did I dodge that when it... I'm on the
So-
ground with negative hit points.
So
one of those like
no,
kick up, flip, somersault things.
so no damage is dealt from this, but everyone who failed, which is everyone except Amisha, is now staggered for their next turn.
Which actually isn't that bad, considering we were just going to attack and not really move.
Yeah, pretty much.
What does staggered do?
Staggered, you can only take a move or a standard action instead of both.
Oh, okay.
So you can't reload after you shoot it.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna shoot it, I guess.
Okay. Disregard my failed attempt at formatting, and Alexander's shot is able fairly easily to strike it again. Kind of bounces off one of the cage bars and into the creature within.
Whoa, and I guess that's all I do.
Ada.
Alright, I've got a question.
Okay.
How far down is this?
Quite. Like, you can't really see the bottom very well.
I want to throw him over.
Alright.
Wait, is he floating?
He is not floating, he's on the ground. So in order to forcibly move a creature, I believe that is a bull rush.
It's reposition.
Reposition? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Drag. They're all the same thing.
Fun fact, since you do not have the improved whatever combat maneuver feat, that does provoke an attack of opportunity.
He's
However,
got a reach weapon.
that hook of his is a reach weapon, and he cannot strike you where you are right now.
I'm
So
gonna push him off the cliff.
roll it.
I hope I'm going to push him off the cliff. I mean, so this is going to be a +5. 18.
You, Ada, like the rest of you see Ada just like shoulder check this thing. It teeters on the wall for a moment, tips off, and about 10, 15, maybe 20 seconds later, you hear just this like faint, fading away kind of crashing sounds.
Lisa's going to take off his glove and check the mark.
You feel a similar sting in the back of your hand, and it looks just a bit fainter than last time.
Oh boy, there's more.
Hey guys, I have a tent. You want to go to sleep?
We should probably do something about...
I would love
Yeah.
to sleep while I'm asleep.
Ada's gonna go up here and start setting up her tent.
Wait, if we have a dream here, then... Wait, well...
Inception. So Ada moves up to the top section over here.
Yep, sets up my tent.
Alright, you notice up here, there's a couple of odd things. There is, in this back wall, right, a door. You know for a fact that door doesn't lead anywhere except to the other side of the wall, and, you know, a fate very similar to your nightmare friend. But, you know, there's a door there nonetheless. And two, in this corner, there is a pool of water that you can't really tell where exactly the source is from.
Detect evil.
It is not evil.
Lisa's going to leave Alexander to keep an eye on Domitia right now. And he's going to go up with Ada and detect magic on that pool.
It is in fact magical.
Does it have an inscription?
No inscription. No.
I'd like to roll a spellcraft check to detect the type of magic. And that's a 10, so I don't know shit.
Yeah, not quite high enough to identify.
He just points to like, it's magical, but I don't know what it does.
Should I touch it?
I'd suggest not until we have a better idea of what it does. And at that point, let me see what he has on his person.
The question here is, how evil do you think the DM is being?
Can Can Lise describe the magic aura to me and I roll a spellcraft?
Sure.
He's gonna try.
Okay, 12.
I'm gonna say no on that one as well, especially because you're doing it secondhand.
So Lise is going to take out. He's going to take out one of his arrows and just dip the back of it into the water to see what happens. If it melts or whatever.
Arrow does not melt. The back of your arrow is now mildly damp.
Okay, but he's
Cool.
checking it for damage, so any type of like imperfections.
It looks completely the same as far as you can tell. The water in the pool kind of ripples a little bit and then steadies.
Can he roll another spellcraft after a couple minutes?
I go back to setting up my tent.
I'll say you can take 10 on it.
Yeah, he's going to take 10 on it, which would still be like a 15.
All right, conjuration.
Oh, that's good.
He's going to relate this information to Ada because she has more idea of this stuff than he does.
Does Ada know?
Yeah, both of you probably know that conjuration.
Healing spells are conjuration magic, guys.
Healing spells fall under conjuration as well as like summoning things.
Ada's gonna go get Domitia and just put her in it.
Well, Lisa's actually going to like pull the cup out of his mess kit so that like they can feed her the water rather than dumping her in it.
I like the idea of just dunking her in it.
It's
Ada-
no, we're
Ada
not
already
dunking
took-
her in it.
But mommy,
Ada
I don't want
already
to take
did
a
it.
bath.
No, Lisa's gonna stop her before, like, he just put up his hands like, no, it's snowing. They're
Ada
gonna
like
kill
gets,
her.
Ada gets like 2 inches away from dunking Domitia in, realizes what she's doing, and doesn't.
Lisa's going to
She
fill
puts
up his
Domitia down and goes back to setting up the tent.
Lisa's gonna fill up his mug with some of the water and offer it to Domitia slowly.
Domitia puckers her lips and points them out at Lise.
I am not kissing you with this water.
No, put the mug on my lips.
Okay, and he does so.
Remember, feed me. Alright,
All right.
then
So
she sips the water.
upon drinking a roughly cup-sized portion of the water, Demisha receives all of the effects as if she had just slept for a full 8 hours. So
That's-
per day
Hey!
abilities,
That's
abilities recover, and you get back hit points equal to your hit dice.
it's not
So
it's not a good sign. Okay, what all do I get?
So all per day abilities come back. So like your
Spell slot.
mesmerist tricks, your spell slots, etc. And you heal hit points equal to your hit dice. So
So
you're now
2.
instead of -1, you're now at 1 hit point.
Which means we could let Ada just keep drinking that until she can lay on hands everyone.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, guys.
Unless it only works once per person.
That's very likely. Lisa's gonna ask Domitia how she feels.
Still really weak, but I can walk.
Like you feel rested, you take a drink, and it's like, I just woke up from a really great nap. Like that kind of nice, refreshed feeling.
Yeah, after a really great nap after being hit by a bus.
After being hit by a horse-drawn chariot. Lisa's going to take his cup back, wipe it down very, very thoroughly, and then take a sip himself after refilling it.
Ada's just gonna drink from it without a cup.
Yeah, same effects to both of you. So per day abilities restore and 2 hit points.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Can I
go.
have some magic healing water?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
I'm
right there. You
going-
can come get it.
Okay,
I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my lay on hands on Domitia. Better than nothing. And then I'm gonna drink from it again to see if it works.
is that just 3 or is it 3 plus something?
just 3.
So you drink from the fountain again, and you feel really refreshed.
Sweet. I'm gonna spam healing until we're all back to max health.
All right. So, do you use all 3 of your, or what, 4 of your lay on hands?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and roll those.
Alright, so Domisha first.
If he's having you roll them, there's probably going to be a limit. Like, is
Still.
there a finite amount of water?
There is. It doesn't seem to have been like significantly drained by the 4 of you drinking from it thus far.
Alright, Domisha's got 6 more back. I'm
So
gonna
she's
call
at-
that. She's at 10 now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call that good enough.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go. Lise.
He's at 11 now.
Alright. You've got 4 more.
Yeah,
So
that's
you're at
11
full.
now with that.
Yeah. Okay. And then I gotta drink from the fountain again.
All right.
Does
So
it work?
Ada scoops up another portion from the fountain, drinks it. Again, gets that refreshed feeling, just like the last 2 times. But now, when Ada looks at the fountain, it's just a dry corner of the rock left. The rest of you look at the fountain, and it still looks completely normal. It still has water in it.
Oh.
So she
Alright.
lost 4 uses.
No, I only lost 3.
Well, because you could use it 4 times each time, right? And you drank
Yes.
twice.
Yeah. So I used it once on Domisha. I had 3 left. I drank from it again. And so that brought me back up to 4. And then I used all 4.
Okay, because I only see
I
3.
think-
I only see 3 there.
Oh no, you're right. I still have 1 more from before I drank from it again. Okay, Alexander's turn. There. 11.
Yay.
And then she drinks.
Yeah, and then I drank from it again.
Okay.
I'm gonna save the rest of them.
So Ada, you heal.
Oh yeah, I was healing
Yeah,
that
you-
time too.
You heal what? 4 more now. If
Yes.
you've already counted your first 2. Everyone can drink from the fountain up to 3 times and receive the benefits. So in effect, that's a total of 6 hit points from just drinking the water and resting, quote unquote.
Okay, then I'm just gonna make myself full health.
Yeah, that should be enough for Demisha to get to full.
Lisa's gonna go ahead and do it then. We'll take him up. Not like they're gonna be coming back.
Ada starts to unset up her tent.
Wait, very important question.
Yes.
When we level, we're not going to. When our max health increases, we're not going to be healed by the same amount, are we?
The way I normally do it, because I don't believe there are specific rules, when I have characters level up, I have them increase both their maximum and their current hit points by what they roll, because it doesn't make sense to me for a character to level up and then suddenly become injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, you become more injured. You leveled up and I guess got a paper cut.
Yeah.
I stubbed my toe.
Yeah, you
Still on the experience.
you stub your toe, like practicing with your weapon, you get a paper cut pouring through your spell book and something like that. All right.
Ada's gonna ask Lise to come check over the store. Yes.
He's gonna come look, be very careful. Like, not poke through it or anything. Just
Alright.
do a full
Scared of
check.
falling, then Ada will hold his hand, but she doesn't offer.
Well, he has levitate again, so
Oh, that's true.
So you check the door. It looks normal and door-like. If you lean over the wall to check the other side, you don't see a corresponding door on the other side.
yeah, he's just gonna just look over but not lean over too far and that's not a door.
You can hear what sounds like faint voices from the other side of the door.
He's
Ada opens it.
gonna step back.
I assume you want us all together so you can move us to the next map.
I love how she just body checked the dude over who was just messing us up.
When I was like, I have an idea, that was the idea.
I kind of guess, like, if levitate worked on creatures that were non-willing, I would just levitate it so you could just, like, nudge them over and then drop the levitate. But they had to be willing or an object.
Yes.
So what's going on?
I think Richard's taking us to the next map. Because Ada opened a door.
I need to be right back in a second, okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Alright, we can just take a break for a moment before we get into this part.
Oh, halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer.
I'm thinking, it is getting a little bit past 11. I will probably call it after this stage, and then we'll go ahead, we'll let you guys level up to level 3, and then we'll wrap things up next session, if that sounds good to y'all.
Okay. So I'm starting... Excuse me. I'm starting to notice kind of a theme with these areas.
How so?
Are these all the locations in which our dreams took place?
Not exactly.
Mine wasn't.
Yeah, they're not exactly the same locations, but each of these nightmares did inspire one of your dreams. And there should be at least some common elements. I hadn't planned out these fights specifically when I did the dream sequences, so this has largely been me over the since our last session, just kind of piecing together what kind of setting seems appropriate for each one. So. I assume you guys are seeing the market map that I've just moved y'all to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I finally learned the short hotkeys, yay. You can zoom really far in.
Yep.
I'm like zoomed in on a single pixel right now, it's kind of weird.
You're kind of weird.
You know, not wrong.
I also don't think there's really much of a limit to how far you can zoom out either.
Yeah.
But if
Which-
you do it too much, you'll get lost and never be able to return.
I'm at 0%
0%.
of, like, zoomed out. It
Ah.
actually says at the bottom of the thing what percentage you are zoomed in.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, it is down there.
Unfortunately, you can't use it to, like, get back, so I have to scroll back in from being lost in the void.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. I'm at 0 and it's letting me keep going.
Yeah, and doing that actually glitched my map. Now I can't actually zoom back into the main map. Like, I'm at,
Oh no.
like, 300% and I just see cobblestones.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go to a different map. And that fixes it.
Cool.
Except for when you zoom back in, it's back to the map being messed up.
Mm.
No.
So, I will be right back.
Alright.
I'm back.
Try zooming to one of the 2%. You get a really weird effect if you do that.
Well, I figured out what the problem was. It was my thing messing up again. The camera's going all wonky, so I got a reset map tool.
we were experimenting with camera zooms and it broke. So we'll
It broke for
just
me
a
in
second.
particular.
Okay,
I've
you,
been having
you can
issues.
actually see the bit I'm talking about in the stream.
Okay, back to that one. Okay, it fixed itself.
Cool.
Oh, I wasn't muted.
Nope.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Tell me next time I do that.
It's fine. Your singing is better than my roommates.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
thanks.
pleasant singing, so whatever.
Step out of a building into what appears to be a market square. If you turn around, look behind you, the building would be off the map over here. I don't have the exact symbol for it. It's a generic shop, or maybe a tavern, or maybe a city office. It's hard to tell. There's no sign on it.
It
It's
doesn't
just,
say "Don't mind the spook."
It does not say "Don't mind the spook." It's a nondescript, completely unadorned, completely unmarked building. Ahead of you, again, market festival type thing. There are, various carts and tables set up, and it's packed with people. Like, not every single square with a person in it, but just these crowds of people milling about. And none of them are speaking. None of them are acknowledging anybody else. None of them are acknowledging you. It's just as if they are like wind up creatures that are just kind of going through their motions without any regard to anything that's actually around them.
Hey, look, NPCs.
I don't know why that struck me as so funny.
Because
But
it's not wrong.
Ada's going to suggest we stick together, pointedly looking at Domitia.
I don't know if it was the case for anybody else, but you were kind of in and out there a little bit there.
Ada's going to suggest we stick together, pointedly looking at Domitia.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay with you guys. I almost died.
Oh yeah.
Lisa's
So-
going to stealth into the crowd.
No, Lise.
So, Lise, you can go ahead and try stealth on ahead. The areas within this main part, kind of through here, counts as difficult terrain for moving through the crowds.
Oh, I got a 23 stealth, so I'm just staying just ahead, just to move through, stay hidden, and then signal to them, and then just keep going.
What kind of check would Ada need to make to create a wake through the crowd, like she did that one other time? Intimidate?
Either intimidate if you want to try to tower over them and make them get out of your way, or just strength if you want to just bull through and force a gap.
No, I will intimidate. I will not intimidate.
They pay you no mind whatsoever.
Alright, then I'm going to use strength now.
Lisa's going to try to talk to them. He's going to try to diplomacy a way through.
Do you want me to try to intimidate a way through?
Sure.
So Lise walks up, he taps someone on the shoulder, starts to talk to somebody, excuse me, can we get through? And they just, it's as if he's not even there. They are completely ignoring every single thing he says.
Okay, intimidated it is.
Intimidated it's not.
Oh boy.
Hang on, is it
Lisa's
doing that
going
thing
to intimidate
again?
as well.
It's not doing that thing again. Okay.
Here's my intimidate roll. 27.
They are completely unfazed.
Ada's scared.
Lisa just turns back to Ada, just with the scowl on his face.
Domitia gets an idea.
Ada's gonna pick Lisa up to reestablish dominance.
Lisa is going to glare down at her and say, I have caltrops and I'm not afraid to use them.
Ada doesn't respond.
He is threatening to put sharp points of metal under her feet.
Lise looks at her and is just like, kite.
Ada says, you wouldn't do that to me.
Yes, I would.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
Demisha gets an idea.
Go for it.
Okay, so these guys aren't responding in any way, right?
They have not acknowledged you at all.
Okay. Demisha is going to kiss one of them.
Okay. You walk up and like peck on the cheek or like try to hop in front of one and just like full out.
Like a Bugs Bunny smooch and run away kind of thing.
They just keep on walking, keep on going about their business. It's like they
Seriously?
didn't even notice. Yep.
Okay, then nothing we can do about them. If that doesn't phase them, nothing will.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
so
speaking-
when Demisha comes back, Ada puts
speaking
Lisa
as
down.
like speaking as like to the players, not to the characters, these aren't like people. These are more like scenery objects than creatures. They're literally basically just automatons going about the motions. They can't really respond to anything that you're doing in a meaningful way.
I have to do this just for the hell of it and how funny it would be if it works, but Lisa's gonna try to just force his way through with a strength check.
Alright, roll it.
A 12.
Okay. I'm gonna say like you're able to kind of like shoulder your way through it a little bit, but it's still slowing you down, so it still is difficult terrain to try to move through the crowd.
Ada's going to try.
Quick question.
Sure.
There has been talk of this just being like how reality is somewhat bendable to your will in this place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could Alexander try to convince reality to make a path through them somehow?
We'll save.
Okay. That is... Let me look over. That is a 10.
10?
Nope.
Okay.
Don't you have
Yeah.
a will save button?
Do I?
Yeah, everyone
Oh,
does.
Yep,
There's one in the like base set of macros I set up.
it's over here.
Oh, you
But
didn't.
it doesn't have your bonus.
You need to put your bonus in there.
Yeah, because I didn't know it was there, so... Yeah.
Alright.
My bonus is a 2, so...
I'm gonna strength check my way through.
Alright,
Or
roll
at
it.
least try to.
Demisha, seeing Alexander's idea, wants to try and do the same thing since she's
Yeah.
more mental than him.
Nope.
Oh boy. Like Ada is still able to make some progress. Like it's just you're not making a wake. And Demisha
The rogue
making
is being
roll.
better at being a paladin right now.
I have to do it. Let me just look at what
So-
my bonus says.
Yeah. Demisha, you can go ahead and roll a will save.
12.
You notice like if you start to move into the crowd a little bit, you notice they're moving slightly out of the way for you, but it's not just like path opening up.
Lisa's going to slide up behind one of them and try to pick their pocket.
Of
Okay.
course.
You
25.
manage to like you can just literally like shove your hand in someone's pocket and rummage around, and if there was anything in that pocket, you could take something from it. But
He's just
alas,
been
there's
wandering
not.
around just like boink. Just turning out pockets because it's fun.
Yeah, you can literally just pull people's pockets inside out, and they just keep on walking.
Yeah,
no one
well,
has
they're
anything.
As they're going,
Demisha,
he's just
Demisha sees Lise doing this and gets the greatest idea.
Oh boy.
She's gonna start taking everyone's clothes off.
You know, ordinarily Ada would stop this, but we've all just had a near-death experience. So she's just gonna continue to try and walk through the crowd and figure out
So-
what our objective is.
So I'm going to say
Hold on.
it's-
Demisha starts
ahead.
piling all of the clothes that she collects so that Lise can go through them and take anything in the pockets.
All right. So it's a little bit difficult. You're able to get some like jackets and things, but given that they just kind of like keep on walking, it's hard to like entirely get at people's clothing. It's you kind of have to just kind of like yank at as they pass by, or like follow along behind them and try to like work at them. As you're attempting to do this, and once you have like a small-ish pile, you all notice, and I'll say Ada specifically, as Ada is kind of forging ahead in this general direction.
Trying to ignore everything going on behind me.
There is a raised platform over here, in just like what seems to be the center of the market square, and on it is a single person. Outwardly, doesn't look any particularly different from
But
the
when I
just
detect
sea,
evil,
from just the sea of faceless people around you. When you detect evil, you're still too far away, I believe. But you notice that where literally everybody else is ignoring your existence with every fiber of their being, this person is locking eyes to whoever is closest to them and watching them as they move.
I do the detect evil thing. I'm close enough now.
Evil. Roughly the same strength aura, still a moderate strength aura as the last two.
Alexander.
At this
Yeah.
point, Lisa's just gonna take Alexander's hand while they're going and lead him.
Alexander, shoot them. That wasn't in character.
Oh, I was gonna be like, okay, bang.
That is not Ada's character.
No,
But
it's not. That's Hannah's character.
Well, no, it's evil, so it probably would be, actually.
True.
Lisa's just gonna look at Ada, then the thing, and then just like any answers.
Evil.
Bow comes out.
All right.
Should I shoot them?
Crossbow.
Go ahead.
I love how she's even she's completely allowing this on her watch.
Once Ada and Demisha draw their bows,
I don't have a bow.
once Lise and Demisha draw their bows, the figure pulls a knife out of its belt and begins taking a step toward you. Everybody, initiative.
I mean, we knew it was going to come to this because it always does.
Yay!
Okay, no screwing up from me this time.
Hey, a 7. I wasted all my good rolls earlier with the intimidate and stuff and the sleight of hand.
You were really scary.
To no effect.
Just
Yeah,
like
it
that
did,
anime effect of everything getting darker around you.
I can just
Zooming
cast
in.
darkness for that.
It did the thing where me and Ada rolled at basically the same time, and it just ignored my initiative. So,
Do it again. Roll
All right.
lower.
so the creature begins moving forward.
I think you can
And
just add
you-
it, right?
Yeah. Oh wait, I didn't make it visible yet. There you go. Sorry. I keep forgetting to do that. The creature begins moving forward, and it is having to kind of push its way through the crowds as well. Although you notice as it starts moving towards you, the crowd just begins kind of dissipating. Not as if they're panicked per se, just as if they're gradually starting to walk away.
Walking with purpose.
And it makes it there.
Walking to be anywhere but there.
All right, Ada.
Can I charge it, or is this still difficult terrain?
It is still difficult terrain. Basically, the rough area that it's moved through has now cleared, but other places around it are still difficult.
Alright, well I can get here then. And ready in action to smack it. Or I could, throw a javelin, which I've had since the beginning of this campaign and literally never used.
Did you forget about them?
Yeah. I'm gonna throw a javelin at it.
All right, it kind of just leans back, and the javelin darts past it. the javelin flies past, lands in the shoulder of one of the crowd.
Oh,
The person, it sticks in their shoulder, and the person just keeps walking. There's no blood. There's no reaction. They're just casually strolling along like this is something that happens every day.
Do I hear a controller tapping?
I think
I
that
don't
was.
know.
I think it was a keyboard.
Yeah, that might have been me. I'm not sure.
Okay, never mind.
All right, Alexander.
Okay. Should I just go up and try to shoot it?
Now, all
Yeah.
these people, they make the area difficult terrain. Do they also provide obscurement or half cover or something?
I'm gonna say not, just for the purposes of not restricting things too much. There's enough gaps that you can see through them. You can get an opportunity to shoot, but you're having the fact that you're having to either wait for an opportunity or push through people to move slows you down.
Time to shoot. Bang. Is that it?
All right, against touch AC, that does successfully hit, and it
Okay.
kind of rolls back from the gunshot.
And that's
You
all.
notice that everyone around you most definitely does not have the reaction that you would expect from a gunshot in the middle of a crowded plaza. And Lise, your turn.
Lise has a clean shot from here because no one's directly in front of him, since he's shooting at an angle.
Right.
So, yeah, he's just gonna take the shot from here because it's gonna close in on Ada. So, that's a miss.
It is indeed, yes.
Off into the crowd it goes.
All right. Is there anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna 5 foot. Wait,
You cannot
it's-
a 5-foot
I
step because of difficult terrain.
right, then I'm just going to move as my move action to here.
Okay.
Not close enough for it to. I need to change my thing because it's saying 30 feet when it's actually 60 feet.
Right. All right, Demisha, your turn.
Okay, stare at it.
Okay.
Lullaby. DC 16 will save. It takes a -2 to the will save because of my stare.
All right, it fails.
Right? It is now drowsy. It takes an additional -2 to will save unless those don't stack.
I believe that they do. I believe, if nothing else, I've ruled that they do in the past when you've used this combination of spells. So,
Okay, then I'll just have to wait for my next turn to cast sleep on it.
all right. It's going to move forward and is going to attempt to make a slicing motion at Ada with its dagger. All right. Does not hit. The dagger, you notice as the dagger slashes across your armor, it briefly flashes with this green flickering flame, which Demisha might recognize. I'm not sure, but you are able to dodge the attack,
Sweet.
and it is Ada's turn.
After we kill him, I'm gonna get his powers. It's just
Alright.
like Mega Man.
Nope. I line up a swing and a miss. That's 2 strikes.
I don't want to get close to it because of that dagger.
Move action before I move forward.
Nah.
Question: when it moved forward, didn't she get her attack because she had ready?
No, I threw my javelin instead.
Oh right, I forgot.
Yeah.
And then somebody walked off with it.
Ignore that then. Sorry.
All right, Alexander.
Okay, I'm going to reload and then fire again.
All right.
That's only a 10.
Only a 10. It is against touch, but that does not manage to hit. So.
Alright, that's all.
Do you have point blank shot?
I believe so, yeah.
So that would be an 11.
That's
If
still
that
not quite
helps at all.
enough to hit. Which we haven't been using point blank shot. That would have applied to basically every round that you would have fired because your range is less than the 30 feet that it takes to activate. But anyway.
Lucy's gonna take a shot again because he's not getting close to that. That would be a 12.
Does not hit.
Oof.
Wow.
Man, I forgot about, yeah. Every time I hit, I should have done more damage. Damn.
Yep.
And
Big
that's
oof.
that's his turn.
Alright. Demisha.
Put it to sleep.
Alright, here we go. 99, motherfucker. DC 17 will save, and a -4 to its save.
So, it fails its save, but sleep is limited to 4 hit dice, and this creature does in fact have 5.
So, wait, why'd you roll?
Just to see if it would have passed regardless. Basically, if it had passed, you wouldn't necessarily have known that. Well, I probably still would have told you that it was just straight up immune. So it still has the penalty for lullaby. So it's still got like the penalty to its perception, and perception. I will say versus sleep. I'm surprised that doesn't do a little bit more, but yeah.
Well, charm person wouldn't work. Daze only works on humanoids, and I'm betting it's not humanoid.
Yeah, it's probably an evil outsider.
Yep, given that they appear to be natives of this plane, which is not your plane, outsider seems like a fairly good bet.
Also, though, and this is quipping. This is. It should have a strong aura then.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I thought the breakpoint was at 5, not 4.
No, it's 4.
Okay. Alright, correction then. It does have a stronger R than the other two did. The others did have the moderate. Alright, Demisha, do you want to do anything with your move action or your swift action?
So, we're ruling that I cast sleep anyway?
You wouldn't have known just by looking at it that it does have 5 HD.
Does Demisha know what HD are?
You know that there are certain creatures that are like strong enough that sleep just does not work on.
And now we've learned this is one of them.
No, it turns over.
Alright. It's going to attempt to continue to dagger at Ada,
Oof.
and that is a critical threat. So, well, it's one shy. It's one shy of confirming. So, it does not confirm, but Ada does take 15 damage, and need her to make a fortitude save.
Hang on, I'm doing math for my HP. I have 8 left. Oh, good. Alright. And a fortitude save. I should be good at this. I clicked the button, but hang on. Hey!
Okay, you pass.
I'm gonna hit it now.
It is no... yeah. Could you all hear me just there?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't have my button pushed then. This area, roughly around where the combat's taking place, is now no longer difficult terrain. The crowd is just kind of slowly parting away from this battle developing in the streets.
What would I have to do to knock it prone?
That would be a trip attempt.
Right. Of course. Does this thing look like it's gonna be difficult to trip?
I mean,
party
Has to.
about should I try to trip it or should I just hit it?
A trip will provoke an attack of opportunity. Just saying.
I'm just gonna hit it then. I'm not going to hit it.
That does not quite hit, no.
I'm going to lay on hands myself too.
Okay. As a swift action.
Yep.
And Alexander.
Okay, I guess reload and try to shoot again. Woo, that definitely hits.
Definitely. Almost a crit. Or crit threat, at least.
Yeah. So 4 damage, considering it's within 30 feet.
Alright. Alexander's shot does strike it. And is there... You want to reload, I assume? Or, no, you reloaded at the start of the turn and then fired, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So unless there's something you want to do with the swift action. That's all?
I think that's all, yeah.
Alright, Lise.
At least it's going to take a shot because there's nothing else he can do right now. That's a 14.
14 does not hit.
That's it.
Alright, Demisha.
Alright, crossbow. 16.
Alright. Demisha's crossbow bolt does manage to tag it. And I
Yay.
believe you are staring at him, so that's an extra 1d6 damage.
That's 9.
9,
Yeah.
9.
I had the properties thing open, so if I tried to like push to talk, it was gonna put a bunch of apostrophes in it. So, all right, Demisha can reload a crossbow with her move action, or she can relocate it if she wants to.
I'm fine, right where I am.
All right,
Reload.
it's going to take a 5-foot step, and it's gonna try and actually, hang on. No, it's gonna 5-foot step that way. And I'm gonna need everyone to make a DC,
Oh, no.
Make a will save real quick.
I was expecting a fireball. I was so scared.
It's a low DC. Y'all will probably be fine.
You say that and I roll a 1.
Lise!
All right, Alexander.
What is it?
Will save.
Okay, so that's a 9.
Okay, this is actually rather unfortunate for the rogue. So Lise and Alexander are unable to. The creature kind of lets out this howling wail. Lise and Alexander are overcome with this odd sense of like paranoia almost. You are unable to take benefit of aid in other actions, teamwork feats, flanking for the next 4 rounds. Which, that's really unfortunate for the rogue.
Yeah, so no more sneak attacks, but I wasn't getting in range of it regardless, so...
Right.
At least it didn't hurt you.
Yep. And it is Ada's turn.
5-foot
ki-
step.
I was kind of hoping it would have been a sleep effect, because I'm immune to those.
Battle X. Dang it.
What is with our rolls?
I would like just I don't know. I don't have anything else I can do.
Alright, so that's
I would like to
all for
glare
Ada's turn.
up at the sky at the
You-
DM that I know is watching.
You may glare at whichever deity or entity you believe responsible for this stream of bad
Actually,
luck.
then I stare at the ground because I'm blaming Hades.
Okay. Alright, Alexander.
Okay, reload again. And I guess I'm just gonna try to shoot.
12.
12,
12,
yeah.
12.
Alright. That is enough to tag his flat foot just barely. And 2 points of damage.
It's better than nothing.
Touch AC, not flat foot, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep.
And Lise.
Step up, 5-foot step just to clear Alexander, and shoot. 8.
Oh gosh. I don't know what RNG you have angered today, but that also does not hit.
I spent them all on my intimidate and my
Sleight of hand.
other sleight of hand. And
Apparently.
I'm extremely ineffective today, and that's it. We're counting on
All right.
Alexander.
Tamisha, you're up.
Okay, 5-foot step up here so I get a good look at the target.
Okay.
14.
Not quite enough to hit him.
Alright, reload.
Alright. Let's see here. Oh dang, I could have used something. I forgot. It's going to make another 5-foot step kind of away from Ada. Its dagger kind of glows green, and it is going to morph into the shape of a pistol. And the creature is going to take aim at Alexander and fire a shot off. Afterwards, the pistol then shrinks back into the dagger shape in its hand. Alright, I'm assuming that hits your touch AC.
Mm.
Probably.
Pretty sure that hits Minerva's touch AC.
And 4 damage. Alright, Ada.
I'm gonna charge it.
Okay.
I'm gonna charge 5 feet to get a +2 on my attack roll.
You do?
Ah!
Oh gosh.
11.
Alright. That's another 2. Why are you rolling so many 2s? Yeah, it's not all rolling the same.
Alright.
But it was all lows except for that 19.
The 17 and the 16 were pretty okay, like average rolls, but still. Yeah, Ada's swing goes wide, not able to hit. And Alexander.
Kill it!
I hopefully reload and try again.
There you go.
That's 9 damage.
Alright, it staggers back from the shot. It's a little bit hard to tell, given that this is a creature made of, pure nightmare energy, but it's looking pretty beat up at this point. It doesn't like that it's been shot, 3 times now. And Elisa's turn.
He is first going to look up at the sky and say, guide this arrow or I'm going to come up there and do something to your siblings. And then he takes a shot at it. 16.
Alright. That's apparently one way to earn the favor of the gods, because Lisa's arrow does in fact go where he wants it. And with the hits that it has already taken, the arrow strikes it, and it kind of staggers backward. And you didn't see what the last nightmare did because Ada chucked it off a cliff, but this one does largely the same as the first one that you fought. It seems to just dissolve into this puddle, basically, at your feet. You get the same kind of stinging sensation in your hand, and you look, and now the symbol looks quite a bit fainter than it did when you first got it.
Ada's gonna go over to Lise and say, would you like me to teach you how to pray properly?
That wasn't a prayer. That was a threat.
The offer still stands.
Pass.
If I was playing this setting with, actual Greco-Roman deities, Lee should probably get cursed for that. But you're on another plane, so it doesn't count.
Actually, they didn't really care.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the stories, like, someone bad-mouthed a god or something, and the god showed up and, like,
That's
yeah,
true.
no, I'm gonna show you.
It depends on which, whatever. I could get into it because I studied this, but we'll leave it.
Lisa's gonna go collect half of his arrows that he spent.
Alright.
Can I get my javelin back?
Make
It
an even
walked
odd.
away.
Make an even odd roll.
Even I want it back.
Okay.
Yay!
So Ada
The-
went and tracked the guy down and pulled it out of his shoulder.
I was gonna say it just kind of fell out, but I like that better. Like, you see the guy with the javelin, he's still just kind of strolling away. You're able to, like, walk up, yank the javelin out of his back, and he just, like, keeps on walking.
Ada shakes her head.
Would you like me to teach you how to retrieve your weapons properly?
Ada just holds up the javelin and says, I got it just fine. And she's gonna tap him on the head with it.
These two just have, like, this bickering fight going.
I love their dynamic.
Lisa's gonna go over and try to steal its dagger.
Okay, yeah, you are able to grab the dagger.
He's checking, like, the magical signature first. So, spellcraft.
I'll go ahead and give it a detect evil too, just in case.
Sure, go for it.
Go ahead and do your detect evil, and my spellcraft is an 18 for analyzing it. But I will probably need an appraise as well.
Yeah, I believe spellcraft can be used to identify properties of magic weapons.
Yes.
It is a +1 in flaming dagger. So extra d6 fire damage. It is evil, maybe just residual evil, maybe from the fact that it's, you know, kind of part of a literal nightmare being. But, you know.
I really
Lisa's
don't
not-
think you should keep that.
Lisa's going to wrap it up in some cloth and then pocket it. If I'm not touching it, it's fine.
I'm not so sure. But when this inevitably goes wrong, I'll help you fix it.
I mean,
I'm gonna start looking around for how to get out of here to the next place.
she just wants away from the dagger.
So the these three sides, the kind of the top, the bottom, and the left sides, are faced with similar, just nondescript houses. You can't really tell any details about any of them. Off to this side and heading this way, there appears to just be like kind of a twisting, winding road. That's the only indication of anything like different in this particular setting. And I think, because it's running up on about midnight, I think I'm going to go ahead and say let's call it for tonight there. And I will... you guys can go ahead and level up to level 3. That was 3 rather tough fights, and we're doing, you know, just fast-tracking XP anyway. So whatever amount of XP you need to get to level 3, I think it's 2,000 on the fast track. You have that now? Or 3,000?
3,300.
33. Okay.
We were at 2,600, so we only gained 700.
Yeah. So, you guys, if just level up before next time. If you guys want to go ahead and just like walk through the level up process right now before we sign off for the night, that's fine.
I just want to roll my hit die.
Sure, go for it.
I do too, but now I'm scared.
Okay, I said last time if you roll a 1, you can take average. So that would be 3 hit points for Demetria.
Alright, I'm gonna try this. Not bad. I'll take that.
That's another 4 for me. I've rolled 1 twice in a row now.
Jeez.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna leave the stream going. You guys can keep talking and stuff and leveling your characters if you want, but I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So I'll be right back.
most importantly, this gives something that Lise has been wanting for a while.
Dex damage.
Yep. With that dagger, he can now do 1d4 plus 6 and another 1d6.
Nice.
Of course, Ada is going to glare at him every time he uses that dagger.
More than likely. Also, just for hit points, remember that you do get your Constitution bonus as well. And yeah, so bring up your class table. BAB saves can go up. Note down any new abilities you have. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. Also, since we're now 3rd level, everyone gets a new feat. So, there's that.
I'm tempted to not even take like the drow magic because it's not going to benefit us at this point. I might just take 2 weapon fighting and call it done, so I can use the rapier and the dagger.
Wouldn't be a terrible idea.
I mean, that would do insane damage using that dagger as an offhand. I mean, it would only be like 1d6 plus 3, and then the other 1d6.
So I've got a problem.
Okay.
When I try to load up the gunslinger page on that one site, I've been using it all night. Now it says 404 not found.
I'm also having that issue. We'll have to do it later.
Yeah. So the PSFRD does that occasionally. There's another site you can go to, and I'll send you the link.
Oh, it just came back up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, mine did too. That was like, this ain't good. Website broke.
Just for future reference, the Legacy PRD, well, it basically has the basic stuff on it. Anyways.
I just posted the link. That used to be the official like Paizo PRD, and then they abruptly dropped it and then kind of brought it back, but it's maintained by third party now. It doesn't have a search function anymore like the D20 PFSRD, but it's still a fairly decent just like rules compendium. I still sometimes use that one because I'm just a little more familiar with how it's laid out and where things are.
I now do 2d6 sneak attack damage.
Sweet.
I'm immune to all diseases, guys.
I mean, I feel like last level I should have just taken the thing to get 2 weapon fighting, because I didn't realize positioning attack only worked once a day, because it didn't say that until I clicked on it after picking it and using it.
Yeah. Sometimes it has caveats like that aren't in like the brief description.
Yeah, so I really lost the feat that way, but I already used it, so...
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
So how many people are still here? Everyone?
All of
I
us.
think all of us, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I just realized I have a +8 to attack with that dagger now, because +2 base attack bonus, +1 for the dagger, and +5 for my dex. That is insane.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Now, the question is if I'll still be able to hit with it is anyone's guess.
For anyone who might be interested, my cats are currently running laps around the house.
Mine is sitting behind me screaming at me.
Oh boy.
I'm pretty sure all of mine are downstairs.
I am curious, like, how it... Like, that 1d4 plus 8 damage is what's baffling me. It must have had an insane dex.
Yeah, kinda.
I'm trying to see what, like, drow nobility upgraded gives me. I think it's like an extra cast of a spell.
Yeah, it's like Fairy Fire and something else. I've built 2 drow characters really recently.
Let's see. That's the one I already have, which is just base nobility. Let's see. Of course, it wants to give me the bestiary and not the actual race. Or bestiary, depending on how you say it.
I always said bestiary. I don't know.
Okay, improved. Let's see. Come on, PFSRD. Okay, dancing lights, fairy fire, the feather fall, and levitate twice per day. And I mean, feather fall has actually come in very useful for us.
Yep, it has a time or two.
But I'm weighing the weights. If we were going to be doing this like long term, it would be worth it, but I doubt we're going to get to 5 where it became actually useful.
I mean, that was something I was going to ask. Like, do you guys want to do this long term? Because I really like this party.
It would be nice if we had like a focused caster is all, but like this is a very niche and interesting party. I put it that way because like it's a very interesting party.
We are.
Could definitely say that.
We're not doing background skills, right?
Correct.
What's background skills?
It's a subsystem.
Yeah,
Or
it's
alternate.
it's an alternate skill system. Basically, certain skills are listed as background skills, mostly ones that one the characters could potentially know through just like non-adventuring activities, and 2 ones that don't get used a lot. And then every single character gets 2 extra skill points per level that can only be used on background skills. Basically, it's just a way to like open up options for like, I really want my character to like play an
Know
instrument
how to
just
dance.
for play an instrument, know how to dance, something like that. You know, something for like backstory reasons or fluff reasons, and you know you're not having actual skill points, quote unquote, to get it. But it's not something that we're using for this campaign, because I must limit myself to not do all the alternate subsystems for new players.
I feel like I really should take 2 weapon fighting, but I'm actually factoring the fact that I might actually get an alignment shift for using that dagger.
I mean,
It is an evil weapon.
it
But if
probably
you're not using it to
It
do
depends
evil.
on how you use it, yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not like you use this dagger to attack once, you're automatically evil. You know, it has an aura of evil about it, but yeah.
Don't walk into a church with it.
Yeah. The dagger might tell you to, like, stab that orphanage full of children, but as long as you don't listen.
I really hope it isn't a sentient weapon. I don't feel like having to roll will saves against it, because we know my record with those. Because I'm not even lie, if it starts talking in my head, I'm chucking that dagger.
Right off a cliff.
Or right into an orphan's stomach.
No!
It depends on if
accident.
the orphan is walking in front of me and I roll a 1.
You have a fairly conveniently located cliff you can backtrack to.
Oh, as an aside, I mentioned earlier, like way earlier, that I had the idea for a chaotic action and that I couldn't do it because I was playing Ada. The idea was, let's not go in through the front door of the mansion. Let's go in through a window.
I mean, that's something a paladin might think of. Like, you have reason to believe that there are hostile things in this mansion, and that they'd be watching the front door. There's nothing wrong with going in a window in that case.
Yeah, but Ada also doesn't want to go through a window, I guess.
That's
It's a
fair.
perfectly good door.
That's fair.
How much is the mark faded by now, by the way?
It is pretty significantly faded. It looks to be like it looks to be like less than half as dark as it was initially. It's considerably fuzzier, not quite that same like deep jet black that it was initially.
If we we're guessing based on how much it fades with each go, how many more of these nightmares might still exist.
Between guessing about that and the crazy lady's ramblings in the very first session, two more.
Okay. We're getting there.
Does anyone have any questions about things that they're getting, stuff that they need to do for leveling up, etc.?
Nah, leveling gunslingers is pretty simple.
I have a whole bunch of things to choose.
Yeah. Also, you rolled a d6 for your hit points. You actually have a d8 hit die. So if you want to re-roll that, you can.
I do.
Yeah. Mesmer's gets d8. I just noticed that.
It's just there's no place on the character sheet I'm using to put my hit die.
Yeah.
It's kind of an oversight on the designer's part.
Yeah. So, hit dice are linked to base attack bonus. If you've got full BAB, where you get like one point of BAB each level, it's a D10 or a D12 in the case of a barbarian. If you've got like the 3/4 BAB, which Mesmer's does, it's a D8. If you've got 1/2 BAB, something like a sorcerer or a wizard, it's a D6.
Question with 2 weapon fighting. The second attack is at like half the bonus damage from my strength or dex, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So,
And that rounds down by default.
well, it's a +6 because I get +5 and then +1 damage from the weapon. 'Cause it's a +1 dagger of flaming, you said.
Right.
So
But
I'm
like
just gonna-
the
Go ahead.
the having of the, I don't think it actually makes a difference, but having your dex applies first. So it, like if you have the dagger in your offhand, it would go from 5 down to 2 and then a +1, which in
Three
effect is
still.
the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm just gonna roll this to test out the roll to make sure it works. Okay, I forgot to change the rapier to dagger, so let me change that. I mean, that's still a pretty hefty.
Yeah. And you are taking into account the -2 when you're 2-weapon fighting?
That is a -2 because I have a +5 dex and then +2 base attack bonus.
Okay.
I forgot to change the rapier was all. The second rapier was all. Because my thing is messing up with that weird glitch again, so I can't see anything when I'm doing anything.
That's
So-
annoying.
That's what it would wind up being. So that would have been an 8, and then another 10. Had those hit in an actual combat.
Yeah. Both those are pretty good attack rolls, so yeah. Crit threat on the rapier.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, the rapier is it an 18? I thought it was a 19.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
an 18 to 20.
Because
That's
the dagger is a 19 to 20, which is
Right.
weird.
Yeah, rapier and scimitar are the two. Well, I think there's a couple others, but those are two of the ones that have like a very the 3-point crit threat range.
It just felt like the 2-weapon fighting will come in more useful than just an extra use per day of like fairy fire and stuff.
Okay, so guys,
Yep.
at 3rd level I get something called Bold Stare, which enhances my hypnotic stare. And there are 2 options that I can take. Well, there's a bunch of options, but I limited it to 2. There's one that's Disorientation, which gives them a -2 penalty to their attack rolls, and Timidity, which is a -2 to their damage rolls.
Both of those sound pretty solid.
I think I would do the attack rolls.
You think that they'll actually miss with that penalty there? Because they have,
Against Ada, possibly.
well, they've got pretty high attack bonuses. They seem to hit us pretty consistently.
I mean, assuming that it's not high enough that they hit on a, that they hit on anything other than a 1, regardless of what their actual odds to hit are, it's a 10% change. Like if they have a 20% chance, it goes down to 10. If it's a 80%, it drops to 70 for the -2 on their attacks.
Okay. I'll take that one then.
I mean, at level 4, I get debilitating injury. Whenever I do sneak attack damage, I can bewilder the foe, and I get a -2 to their AC.
Nice.
4th level, I get spells.
Fortunately, bewildered only works for me. Oh wait, no, -2, and then an additional -2 against me. So yeah, sneak attack would be very beneficial in the future, in one more level.
So, the description of my painful stare says that I increase the damage of targets of my stare by 1d6 if I hit them. But it also says level /3.
1d6 per every 3 levels.
Okay, I just hit level 3. Does that go up or do I have to wait till level 4?
I think it goes up.
So, now?
Yeah, so if it doesn't say at 1st level plus every 3 levels thereafter, if it says every 3 levels, then it's 369.
Yeah. Looking at it, you might have done like the same hypnotic stare damage as everybody else up until level 3, and then you start taking, doing 1d6 when everyone else is still just half your level. But we've been doing it like this, and I'm not going to change it now. So yeah, we can go ahead and say that your painful stare is 2d6 at this point.
The description was not specific enough.
Yeah. Yeah, when I'm looking at, like, the additional damage, if the Mesmerist uses his ability to increase his own damage, the additional damage increases by 1d6 points for every 3 class levels. Generally speaking, if you have less than that many, like, it rounds down to none. So I think I did misread that at first, but again, it's too late to fix that, and I'm not going to change that now, since that's how I had been interpreting it.
I think I'm zit.
Okay.
I just need to do my skill points, but I can do that later.
Yeah. Hannah, have you taken a feat for Ada yet?
Oh yeah, I'm doing the Weapon of the Chosen tree.
Oh, nice.
So now, as a swift action, my weapon counts as magical for the
Sweet.
purposes of bypassing DR and damaging incorporeal creatures. And I can do that as many times as I want.
That is useful. Now I'm just trying to figure out, like, I need to make a separate macro just for my dagger now, in case Lisa decides to forego the rapier.
Yeah,
Because-
the weapon of the chosen tree is really nice. Like, it takes a while to get you to the top, but eventually you get advantage on all your rolls, and it bypasses DR, and you can do this at like level 9. It's stupid. But you have to be a cleric or a paladin to do it.
Well, I'm rolling this to, like, compare the damages against. The first one will be the rapier, and the second one will be the dagger, just single-handing it.
Nope.
So, Kaze and PJ, how are you guys coming on? Leveling up.
I need to pick 2 more mesmerist tricks, but I don't really know which ones to take since I'm pretty much always just going to be giving Lise psychosomatic surge.
Did you get your Mesmerist trick at 2nd level?
I did.
So
I
you
got
don't
false
actually.
flanker.
Yeah, so you don't actually learn another one here at 3rd level. You know one at 1st level, you learn one at 2nd, and every 2 levels thereafter. So like 2nd level, 4th level, 6th level.
Actually, I do learn one still because of because I'm a combination mesmerist kitsune, it's a favored class trait.
Okay. So plus 1/3 of a.
Yeah, once every 3 levels.
Okay. So yeah, you do learn one more then.
Yeah,
Um,
but it still doesn't
see.
change the fact that I have no idea what to take.
Let's see. Like I said, false flanker is a good one, but you already have that one. Let's see. Levitation buffer's not bad. Use it. It doesn't use your normal combat maneuver check. It's your mesmerist level and your charisma modifier, which is pretty good. And that can, like, if something's around you or an ally that you've got the trick implanted in, it can just push them away.
I like the sound of misdirection. Basically, whenever the implanted ally attacks, I can make a bluff check to feint against their target for them. And if it succeeds, then you target their, their touch
Flatfoot.
AC?
Flatfoot, not touch.
Flatfoot.
And yeah, that would be nice for Lise, because Lise can then sneak attack. Same kind of deal with false flanker, though. Like, that has some similar effect. I was looking at mesmeric mirror. It's not the best. You only get the one duplicate, but like that mirror image type effect is nice. Basically, until the image actually gets hit and takes damage, it's a 50-50 chance that anything shot at you misses and hits the double of the subject instead. Spectral smoke isn't bad. It's a good, like, you can hide in things, hide in the smoke.
Mesmeric mirror lasts for 1 minute?
Yep.
Oh, geez.
Or until. So the way the figments from mirror image work, if, like, when an attack targets you, you roll randomly between the actual person and all of the figments. If a figment is hit, that figment is automatically destroyed. So, like, you pop the mesmeric mirror, you get, the figment gets hit first time around, the figment's destroyed, and then it's dropped. It doesn't come back until, like, for that full minute. But still, yeah. If the figment doesn't get hit for that full minute, that's a 50% miss chance on every attack, but that means that you're getting hit instead of the figment, so.
Oh, so once it's hit, then it goes away?
Right.
Still, it lasts a while. At least it's not like the triggering attack of the trick has a 50% chance of missing.
Right.
Yeah, like once I make the illusion appear, then I can implant another trick. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, as far as I know, the trick triggers, like, it triggers and it's counted as expended. And the figment sticks around for as long as it sticks around, but you can go ahead and implant something else.
Let's see. Mesmeric mirror. Now that's in an ally, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Or, you can do that. You can do any of your mesmerist tricks on yourself as well.
Let's see. Enemies have a 50% chance to miss target until one fails. How's that?
Yep, that works.
Okay, now I just gotta take 2 spells, and I'll be done.
Alright, have you picked your feat?
I get a feat at 3rd level?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, Pathfinder is basically every odd level. You get a new feat.
You get a lot of abilities in Pathfinder.
Yeah, you get feats faster than in like 3.5.
It's a lot to keep track of.
It can be, yes. Let's see. You have spell focus with enchantment spells right now, correct? That's your feat that you currently have?
No, I have the one that lets me take the form of specific people with my disguises.
Right. Okay. Which, now that I think of it, would have been useful getting into the headquarters, but...
Well, we did wind up using that to, like, turn into the Oracle to walk
True.
through.
True. Yeah, you did use that. That's right. That's right, because we remembered it like halfway through the, like once you guys were already inside and like most of the way there, or part of the way there.
Yeah, and then we used it on the way back.
Right.
So I was trying to find another feat, but I really couldn't see another feat better than 2-weapon fighting now that I have a dagger.
Yeah. Kaze, how's yours coming?
I've been done for a while.
Okay, so you got feet picked out and everything? New skill points?
Wait, you get a feat at 3rd?
Yes.
1,
Is it-
3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15,
Oh.
19.
The bonus feat at 4 confused me, I guess.
Yeah, so the bonus feats are separate from like your normal feats. Every single character, upon like reaching character level 3rd, gets a new feat. You've got point blank and precise right now, yes?
Yeah.
Deadly aim could be one that to look into.
I'm
Rapid
probably gonna-
reload.
I'm gonna get rapid reload.
Or rapid reload, that's also a good option. Let's see. Trying to think for Demisha. Since you don't have the spell focus with enchantment, that could be a good thing because she does use a lot of enchantment spells. Although some of those are not going to be as effective now that we're like up against higher hit dice enemies. Let's see. You could take weapon focus with like your crossbow. That would give you +1 on attack rolls, just like make you slightly more effective with that.
Is that what it does? Is +1 with crossbows?
Yeah, like weapon focus is +1 attack rolls with a specific weapon.
If you're
Like-
gonna take that for the crossbow, though, like get point blank shot. It's better.
Yeah, point blank shot would probably be better. Any range attack within 30 feet, you get +1 attack and +1 damage.
And, I mean, precise shot is good so you don't shoot someone, but given that your current track record...
I mean, you can't take precise shot without taking point blank shot first.
Yeah, you need to take it regardless.
Okay, I'll take point blank shot.
Okay.
Easy enough to remember the effect.
Yeah, +1/+1 within 30.
Let's see. Come
We
on.
say easy enough and haven't been using it for Kaze the whole game.
Because I forgot it existed.
Yeah.
'Cause I mainly took it just as a prerequisite to precise.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, with a
I think I know what spells I'm gonna take too. For my last cantrip, I'm gonna take Flare,
It's a good one.
okay.
and for my next level 1 spell, I'm gonna take Doom.
Also a good one.
Yeah, solid choice. Debuff spells are fun. I really like playing Divine Casters, and they've got a lot of buff debuff spells. Like, I love just being able to give everybody boosts on their attack rolls while also still like wailing at the enemies. It's fun.
I
Weirdo.
kind of regret not choosing to do like a monk with disarm, disable device, and trap finding. That would have been the weirdest combo with Domitia. Or not Domitia. Well, with Domitia too, but also with Ada.
Ada, yeah.
Domitia would just be constantly trying to hug them. It's just like, please get off of me. I can't body slam you because it's against my oath, but please get off me.
That's different for the dynamic right now. How?
Because Lise can stab her. He just chooses
Fair.
not to.
Fair.
Because then Ada will be barreling down at him with an axe, because that would technically be an evil act.
I mean, you don't know. You haven't pushed Ada's limits yet, really.
But now that he has the dagger, he might be.
Okay.
Well, when it inevitably goes wrong, she'll help you fix it.
My character's done.
All right. Got hit points, skill points, updated BAB and saves.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Chose my spells, chose a feat, chose a new trick.
Thank you for reminding me about saves, because that's a
Yeah.
+1 to will and fortitude, which I really needed.
You
I
got
got
your
a +1 to reflect.
you got your new you get a third another spell slot, another first level spell slot as well, which you may have already gotten down.
Did Lise roll for HP?
Yes, I rolled a 1.
Yeah. Again.
And you didn't.
That's twice.
And you didn't
I
take
took
the
the
average?
average.
Oh.
I did. That's
Domitia
why.
has more HP than you now.
That's because I didn't change it on the sheet yet.
Oh.
Like, it's on my main sheet because I'm up to 22, so I'm at 19 of 22. Because I got a 1, but that ups it to a 4, and then I get my Constitution modifier of 2.
Okay, never mind.
Ada has
rolled a
22
1.
health right now, but it's 22 out of 34.
Yeah. So, I really wish this thing would stop glitching on me. Like, it was doing fine the first time, and then it's like, no, you shall not.
This has been giving you issues like basically every session at this point.
Yeah, it worked before we started the session, and then ever since we started the sessions, it's been messing up just like it was before.
Well then.
But I've been working with it because I didn't want to stop, and actually it's worse right now. Because it's like duplicating on top of each other endlessly.
That's really weird.
It's very in the way.
And it's all because you have a better graphics card than the rest of us?
I don't know what it is. That's what people are saying it is, but at this point, I don't know.
Map tool.
As if we
I
wouldn't
wa-
have some kind of problem with another program.
A professionally made program? Probably not.
But it is what it is. I'm not gonna...
I mean, you can't really argue with the price of this program. Like that's nice, the fact that it's just freely available.
Like,
No.
I'm not gonna complain about it. It does what we need to do, and that's enough.
Alright, well, it sounds like pretty much everyone has their characters ready to go, so unless y'all have some other questions for me before we move along, I think we're good to roll. Next session will quite probably be the last one.
I will need to do my thing with I have to make a roll just for the dagger, because he will probably just wind up using the dagger when he's one-handing rather than using both. Because the dagger is actually better.
Fair.
Like, I calculated and all, and the dagger is significantly better.
Yeah, the d6 damage is nice.
Yeah, because it's 6 to 11 compared to 8 to 16. The 6 to 11 is the rapier. And he's a +1 to hit with the dagger. But yeah, I'll do that later when it's not glitching like crazy. So yeah, I just
Alright.
gotta I'll do my stuff tomorrow when I do my skill points.
Alrighty. I've got the campaign saved, so you can shut that down. You can shut the server down whenever.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna end the stream now. So, good night everybody. Thanks everybody who came by. I noticed I had an average of 3 viewers pretty much the entire time.
Well, yay!
Yeah.
How many of those are
Good
you
night,
guys?
everybody.
One of them's not me.
Yeah, I don't usually have the stream up in the background.
I had the stream up.
Okay, well, anyway. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.